Hello, good evening, and happy Friday to everyone out there. Thank you very much for watching Red Lion Live. When we are live once again to talk all that geek shit. So last week we went a bit serious, didn't we, boys? We're talking about important stuff and real stuff. But today we get to go back to a good old fashioned Red Lionness and talk about some shit that doesn't really matter, but matters a lot to us, which is geek nonsense and random geekery and geek shit and geek stuff, which is always good. So if you like geek stuffs and geekery, and what else can you say geek wise?
Stop saying the word geek.
Geekerage.
It's losing all form of meaning.
Geekery. Geeks. No, all right. No, fair enough. All right, I might as well introduce myself. My name's Nick. And I'm all joined, as always, with my two co-hosts. To the left, your left, my right, is Mr. Mike. Good. How are we doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm champion, I guess. Like, back cleaned up on Tuesday. Back to work. Kind of. Like, Zack Snyder's Justice League yesterday. Winter Soldier today. I'm drinking Red Stripe. Happy days, isn't it?
What more do you need? What more do you need in life?
I'm all right with that.
Exactly, mate. Bit of Justice League, bit of Winter Soldier, Red Stripe, vaccine in you. You're laughing, aren't you, really? The word's your oyster. Have you had any side effects from this? Like, how are you feeling?
No, I didn't get superpowers, which was a bit annoying.
No. Right. So the government's lied to us. Again, this might be a serious one, guys. This might be a serious one today.
Standard operating procedure, that, isn't it? Government lying.
Yeah.
Bit of a sore arm for like a day, but apart from that, I fell asleep pretty much when I got home. So yeah, fine.
Just knocked you out, dozed you up.
And you get the opportunity though, go and sign up for them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's very important. Okay, and also we are joined by Mr. Talent. What are you saying, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Tired, but good. It's been yet another long ass week.
I'm surprised because we're having a bit of a chilled one today, but you're not in your chaise long or your bed.
Yeah,
you know, what's going on?
I'm not. I'm sat up at my dressing table, on my wife's dressing table. But yeah,
you seem like you've had a dose of the vaccine. You're all right, mate. You need to get yourself an espresso.
I'm absolutely battered, mate. But a couple of drinks, I'll liven up in a bit, I promise. A couple of drinks. I've got a bottle of red. I'll be right.
Get yourself a Jaeger bomb, son.
Yeah.
That'll sort you right out. That'll do.
Not back a few shots.
Yeah, right. I'll get someone to send some round for you. We're also joined by our fans. We've got the lovely long-haired Linda. How you doing? And she was our guest as well last week. Make sure you watch last week's episode as well.
Can we all just take a moment as well? Just because I feel like we ignored it last week. But I feel like it was too good of a joke to just pass up because me and Mike looked at each other and everyone kind of just carried on with the conversation. But Linda's definitely sat at home now watching us with her fingers at the redder. So I just it's been playing on my mind all week. It pained me to leave it alone last week and not say anything. But we're not being serious this week, so I can be a dick again. So yeah, good stuff.
Fair enough.
Great. Okay, cool. I thought there was some more from that, but that's okay. No.
Just a masturbation joke to get it going.
That's absolutely fine.
Good old wank joke.
Fine. Yeah, good stuff. That's exactly what's happening. And we're also joined by another number one fan. Can we have more than one number one fan? Does it defeat the purpose?
You said another, like there was more than Amy though.
Because Linda's one of our number one fans.
Oh, is she a number one fan too? Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've got a few number one fans. It feels like it defeats the purpose of having number one fan. Because it's just.
They should have their own numbers. There's only 13 of them in total.
They should have like number 1A, number 1B. I don't know. Is there any good way of kind of like, kind of systematically Yes. Okay. Fuck it. I don't know. And also join Vix as well. I'm getting too deep into this. Amy, hey girl. I'm going to do it every week. Yeah. So you might as well stick to traditions. Why not? Great stuff. But yeah, if you didn't watch it, watch last week's episode. Not so many masturbation jokes in that, but thank you, Alan. That was great. Good way to kind of kick things off today. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So let's start with some geekery. So Linda says she's still watching the Winter Soldier and Falcon. So the right thing to do is probably leave it alone and start with Justice League. So let's start with Winter Soldier and Falcon. What do you all think of this? Full spoilers as well. Let's get onto that. Should we start with Justice League, really? Should we be nice this week? Let's be nice. She was kind of nice to us.
Alan's still not seen it.
I've not watched it yet.
I don't care. I don't think we're going to go spoilers anyway, but
No.
I will go first because I absolutely 100% adore that film. Like,
Really?
it's got its faults. Like, it's got parts of it what I really, really don't like, but it's so much of an improvement. Like, from the John.
All right. Nothing wrong with it in the slightest, Linda. I just wasn't aware that these were the three faces that you would want to be looking at whilst doing that. That was news. So yeah.
I'm just going to leave that there for a sec. I'm just going to leave it there. Yeah. I'm going to leave it there until it starts to get really uncomfortable. Like, just a casual joke just becomes a bit weird eventually and just really uncomfortable for everyone involved. How long do you reckon that'll take? Is it happening now?
No, it happened about 5 minutes ago, bro.
It happened 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's get
About an hour and a half left for that.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Mike. Please continue. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Yeah, I honestly, like, the comparison to the Justice League film, it's night and day. Even the stuff like he's filmed it in that weird aspect ratio, which at first took me out of it a little bit, but then I fell into it very easily. It's such a pretty film to look at. It has, like I said, it's still got quite big flaws within it because it's obviously they haven't been able to go back and change a lot of the stuff what was in that script beforehand, which I still think Warner Brothers probably lent on it to have the weird cheesy jokes in, like the one-liners and stuff. I don't think Zack Snyder would have put them in there, like if it was just his script. Like,
Sure.
But yeah, it's the first true comic book magnum opus. It's 4 hours flew by. Like that first hour is a lot what you can remember from the Justice League. So when Nick said he was an hour into it and he weren't really feeling it, I was like, yeah, I get that. You've got all the really cool shit to come yet. Everything about it is just an improvement.
I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If you take out the Wonder Woman museum stuff from the first film, like, which made no fucking sense, it still doesn't make any sense. It doesn't tie into the plot. Why was she stood on the top of that fucking woman, like Lady Liberty? Like, it all sticks out, and that's the worst part of it for me. It's that, and then very, very small bits of dialogue, which I said before, is probably he couldn't really change because it was probably forced on him. But I can ignore that for how cathartic that film is. Like, at the end of it, I was like, oh, Warner Brothers have fucked themselves because it's like 4 films waiting to go right there. Just perfectly. And I want that tone. I want it to look like that.
Yeah.
I can't. It's just made it such a shame that even if he made it originally, instead of us getting the Joss Whedon film, we wouldn't have got that film.
Yeah.
Like, and for us to get in a version what I still think he would have preferred, it would have cost too much to go back and make all these changes, and I think that would have blooded Warner Brothers' face a little bit too much, so they weren't going to allow that. Honestly, even Superman, the driest prick on the planet, I got no incredible. Even like the it's a special film, man.
It rendered Mike speechless. He couldn't actually get out his words. It was
genuinely surprised.
I agree with a lot of what Mike's saying. So like you said, like first hour into it, and me, I went into this meh. I went into this with really no expectations for that. I did not like the Justice League film. When they said they was going to make Snyder was going to make another one, I said, all right, we'll see his version of this film, but I still do not like this film. This is how I'm going into it. I don't like the concept of the film. There's a lot about it I don't like. It's just not going to do it for me at all. When I was in the first hour of the film, there was a lot of things that I could see that was an automatic improvement. I said, visually, it looks amazing. But at the same time, I was I was kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the boat, because I was like, does it now look amazing? Does it now? It's almost could this not be forced upon us? Good shots are great shots. We can do a nice pan shot or a close up of a newspaper fluttering in the street of Metropolis, or rain falling, in the middle of the ocean, and where the fuck Aquaman is, whatever. These shots are going to be epic. These shots are going to be nice, and we know we're going to like these shots. So they're using these shots to make us enjoy this film. So I went in it very biased, a little bit suspicious. And there were shots in there, like the Wonder Woman museum stuff, still to this day I hate. There is no reason for Wonder Woman to turn around and look at the camera slow motion. We know a bullet's coming towards her. We know it's going to happen. The first time, do it once. Yeah, she ricochets it, but every time. And there was loads of these little bits in there, and and I don't know why, it just really pisses me. It's like a really bad Fast and Furious movie, when they're having that massive fucking battle with all the Amazonians, right? And there was a slow-mo skid, and I was just like, why? I would have preferred that scene if she'd have done that in real time. There was a bit
every
where
time
they're fighting. Yeah, any kind of slow-mo, like the slow-mo flip when she's fighting, just all this slow-mo stuff. Just stop it. Okay.
Yeah, unless you've got something like a bullet time effect.
Yeah.
Which is literally groundbreaking, and not every cunt's gonna copy it for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't want to see another slow-mo.
It's pointless. It pisses me off. And the fact is, it doesn't make the fight look better. When someone skids under something, it's just them skidding for 30 seconds. You're like, it's taking a while, isn't it? You know what I mean? When it's Flash doing it, right, he's going in slow-mo to show how fast he's going in comparison to everything else. It looks great. It makes sense why this is happening. When Wonder Woman is just turning and her hair's going around, it's that fucking L'Oreal shot. It's just like, just stop it. Just stop it now. We don't need it. It's not telling you. I would have appreciated that bank scene so much more if the guy would have. Was the bit where the guy was shooting with where the hostages? Was that in the first one? I don't know if I'm spoiling it.
No, that's in both. That's the museum scene.
The museum.
I can't remember now. Is that where she runs along all the the road?
Yeah.
Got like she throws the bomb through the ceiling.
That same scene.
So
Okay, cool. So I'm not spoiling anything. So that scene, do you know what I would have appreciated? And I remember thinking this as I was watching this. Do you know what I would have loved? If he would have gone, if he would have said his line and then gone, well, you're too late, or you can't stop this, whatever. And then he starts shooting, and we saw it from his point. So we saw it from the point of view of the butt of the gun. Just saw the gun going. We saw him shooting. We see him literally just go across. We can see the screams coming from everyone, like an old Batman film or a comic. Just the faces of people mixed in with the lights and the flashes of the actual gun butt, and he moves across all of them. And there's just bits of fucking shells and bullets just stood around them. Not one person's hurt, and she's just stood there. And then a bit of fucking metal drops from her shields or something, and she just stood there like she's just done all this without having seen it. I would have preferred that scene so much more. You don't have to see it; you could just see him go, and her just stood at the end of it.
I feel like I'd have preferred her to miss one. Do you know, do you know what I mean?
Like a weakness.
Just miss one, and then have to live with it and see her character develop in a with that way. Yeah, you know what I mean? That would have been a better story arc for her. Like, obviously, I've not seen this new one, so I don't know what her arc's now like. But watching the first Wonder Woman film and then Justice League and the second Wonder Woman film, there's nothing there. There's no development. Yeah. There's no progression really to speak of at all. So I think it would have impacted more for me. If she'd have missed one, I'd have been fucking cool with it.
There's just so many ways you could have done it. There's just so many ways you could have done it. And I'm not focusing on Wonder Woman, but it seems to be primarily with her that they're doing this. And it doesn't make sense. They don't do it a lot with Batman. Batman's always in real time. With Cyborg, they hardly ever do it. Aquaman, maybe for the shots with the water, but these are epic shots. Again, it's not usually when he's fighting. It's just like it just needs to. For me, it just needs to carry. It just needs to flow. It feels to me like a bad Fast and Furious movie, just a slow mo for no reason, and it just draws me out of it, and it fucking pisses me off. There's no point. However, that aside. That shit aside, fucking loved it. I cannot deny this film. I kind of got halfway into it. Everything starts to kind of pick up a little bit. We start to see, with the actual action that's happening there, and the interactions with all of our heroes with real people and their own kind of character arcs throughout this film, which you need this time for. Appreciated it 100%. There's not one part of it that I thought, oh, this is cringy. I loved it. In fact, I thought this was great. This is really well shot. For me, it felt like a different film. I was like, don't remember this scene. This makes sense now. That's great. Brilliant. This is fantastic. Building up to obviously the finale, which I remember messaging Mike just giddy. And I was just like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Fuck me. And Mike's absolutely right. It makes you go, what a waste. I want to see another Justice League film. If this would have come out at the same time as Infinity Wars, I would have been like, two different films, man. You know what I mean? These are two different films. Like, I appreciate them both in their own ways. I wouldn't be able to pick. I would say Justice League has a lot of flaws. I think ultimately Infinity Wars is better. However, Justice League had its own flaws, but there's so much great things in this film that make it stand up, especially in this one. So I was like, this is it for me. Yeah.
It's got an awful lot working with it, just because if you watch Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and this, it's literally a linear story. All of them tie in back to back.
Yeah,
like you can literally put disc on after disc, and it's a linear story. So it's just an incredibly worked out piece. Like, not just as a standalone 4-hour bit. You've got another 2-hour monsters what go in front of it perfectly.
Yeah.
And the tones stay the same all the way through it. Like, the gradients, it's what we give the MCU a lot of credit for, because everything seems tonally balanced.
Yeah.
And it's what we've never got in any DCEU film.
No,
every DC film is a horror show when it comes to tone. The
first Justice League was like to the ending. It was just a big CGI clusterfuck. He just didn't believe anything that was happening. He just wanted it to end. It's ridiculous. Just to pick up on what Amy and G was saying, I'm not talking about the times where she's moving ridiculously fast, just like Flash. It makes sense. I'm talking about the time where she's fighting someone and she notices another guy behind her and she turns to see him, and they decide that it warrants like 30 seconds of screen time. This is the kind of scenes that I'm talking about. I'm talking about her fighting Steppenwolf and doing a backflip over him and then just freezing it for no reason. It's just like, there's no point. I'd rather see her move like this in real time. Or if it's going to be slow-mo, it's like, make it part of the story. Make her do something incredible in this time. But my issue is not the fact that they're using slow-mo with her. And my issue is the fact that they're using it with her pointlessly, for no reason, just to I don't know, just to hypen the action. We appreciate action. Like, if Infinity War, if Marvel has taught us anything, you don't need it. You can just show these guys doing what they do, and we'd appreciate this stuff. And we want to see what's going on. If you miss it, we'll watch it again. That's what's fun. That's what's fun about watching Marvel films. You don't have to just slow it all down.
Do you think maybe it's the studio's way of going, look, this is actually Gal Gadot and she's actually doing it? Do you know what I mean? So that like it's not like a CGI mapped over face, because she was like, I'm sure she was Israeli military trained.
Yeah.
Like, so she can actually fucking do a lot of the stuff that's happening, like the combat, the acrobats, the stuff like it's more than likely 9 times out of 10 it's her and not some stunt double. So is it the studio's way of going, look, it's not someone else?
Not a chance. It's a tonal thing coming over from Wonder Woman. It's everything what she does in Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman film, is in slow-mo. It's to emphasize a point that she is like, but it gets a bit slow and a bit boring when you've got Superman quicker, Aquaman same speeds. You've got the Flash quite a lot quicker. Like, it doesn't work when it doesn't work when you're saying, well, she's getting this special, because it is only hers where she gets the full theme and everything like that very early on. Everyone else's is very slowly building into themes, where hers themes is bang straight there. And it's
there's no just if I could just say something, she's a fucking badass in this. There's no denying she kicks fucking ass in this film. It's
just literally that one scene for me. It's just that museum scene. Yeah, it's the museum scene, that, and the fact that they've got eco-terrorists where you don't know who this eco-terrorist group are. It's never mentioned again in the whole of the 4-hour film. It's just like everyone else's makes sense, Joe. Their bits before they end up it all makes sense, but that one, I'm just like,
I completely agree. It's just these little. For me, it's just more of a production thing. I just feel like it doesn't need to be. It just doesn't need to be done.
it does have the advantage of, instead of it being a 10-minute scene in a 2-hour film like the original Justice League, it's now a 10-minute scene in a 4-hour film, and you forget about it very, very easily.
Yeah, and it's filled with so much good. Yeah, and it's filled with so much good. Yeah,
the whole film is like perpetual motion. As soon as it gets going, it can't stop. Like, you can't take scenes out of one part and then think I can drop that scene in another part, because the whole everything will be messed up. It's literally starts off at a slow roll and it just gets more and more and more. And that hers is the only where it doesn't seem to stick to that storytelling arc. Like, hers is very big and bold and very, very much right at first, whereas everyone else is everyone's
slowly,
building at once.
Softly. Yeah, everyone's kind of finding their feet. Yeah, absolutely. With the there's other scenes as well. I think there's a scene where Cyborg's talking to his dad as well, and they're having a massive fucking big ass monster. We got Steppenwolf in there, and he's just going, you all right? And his dad's like, yeah. And he was like, hey, thanks for saving me. I'm like, mate, if I was Batman, I'd come out like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, we're literally fighting a war in there. Are you kidding me? Like, we can have. What are you doing? Get your fucking ass in there.
I'm not going to listen to any Cyborg slander.
Mate, there was
the performance is.
Mate, it was
heroic.
Mate, he was great when he actually comes in. Like, when he gets into action, it was that one scene for me. I was like, you kidding me, bro? And this just isn't the time.
It's when he basically realizes he's a god, and and you just go, oh, and then you realize, how is all that missing from the first film? How have they made him such a small thing in the first cut to being the whole reason of this film? It's wild.
No spoilers.
But I can't. I'm not.
That's no spoilers. That's no spoilers. That is just wild. That is a wild. Because he is literally the heart and soul of the whole. Everyone's got their own bits, but it's him. What is like?
Yeah.
In coming to terms that he's the modern he's their version of Dr. Manhattan, basically. Like, he can do whatever the fuck he wants within.
He can. Yeah, he literally can. He literally can with ease, and it's amazing and it's great. You see his abilities and they're amped up so much. And the fact is, it speaks to his character about how almost modest he is about this. How he decides to use these abilities as well. You can't help but love this guy. He's amazing. Barry Allen. Let's just talk about that guy for a second. Like, he was a lot of people's favorite person in the original Justice League movie. And for me, again, I thought, fuck me. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Flash fan, but I was like, this guy's annoying, man. This guy's fucking annoying me. He's annoying. He's a prick. He's a bit of a loser, and he doesn't really do anything. And he seems to have this immense power. He's doing fuck all. And in this film, I was just like, legend.
Right. The guys
legend status. I get
a bit of an hard life, haven't he, really? I get he can run quick.
Exactly, but... yeah. Now why he's a bit awkward, why he's a bit shy, why he's wanting to prove himself so much. And in this film as well, with no spoilers, he doesn't really have to get tutored to do what he does. He just kind of does it, which is great. I think
he has his own set of rules already. What he's what he does together as he's going along. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
boys, I might just fuck off now and watch it because you
might
genuinely. Like, I feel like I was already probably more excited than both of you for it to come out. Like, I feel like I was one of the most optimistic about it. And then now I just want to fucking watch it now.
It's changed.
I really just want to watch it now.
It's changed my mind about the whole. Damn, for me, it's not the same film. I was the one that was most skeptical of this film. Like you said, it let me down the first time. I was like, I don't know how you can make a film like that better. And for me, it's just a film retold. In fairness,
well, apparently you just need to show the stuff what you didn't in the first cut, like the stuff what Wesley Snyder's what he shot. If he just shown that, it would have been a lot better.
It's like a different movie. It's like a different film, and it's just well made. You love it when they all come together as well. They are amazing together, unified. Superman again, like Mike was saying. Just one of the best that I've seen him. And I said in ratings, I think Man of Steel Superman for me edges this Superman slightly, but it's just because of one scene in it. But I mean, Batman versus Superman, original one, even most live action Superman films. This is the Superman that I know from DC animation. Basically, this is the guy. This is who I want to see on screen now, every time, please.
Because me and you both love Man of Steel, don't we? You're not a massive fan, are you, Mike?
Not particularly, because it's Superman, isn't it? Like, there's only so many times I can see a god half struggle then ultimately win quite easily. Yeah. Like, it's, and I get Zack Snyder did a lot different, which again was a lot more my style of superhero film, where there is a lot of big carnage, big destruction, and real effects to life. Like, unlike the earlier Superman films. So there is a lot I love about it, but at the end of the day, I still go, it's still Superman. I know what's going to come. Yeah. At the end of it,
I went and saw it with my mate Tom in London, and again, we wasn't really expecting much from this at all. You know, we weren't particularly interested in it. I remember we went to see. We were still coming off the Nolan Batman trilogy. It was the last Batman film, Dark Knight. Was it Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they advertised Superman, when we went to see that, and I was just like, and then they did him doing the supersonic thing, and it kind of reminded me of Superman Returns, and I was like, I hate that film so hard. Yeah, I hate that film so I had no real interest in watching this, and I went to see it with Tom, and I was, and if someone would have asked me before I went in there, they would have said, what do you want to see from this? I would have said, just Superman being badass. If someone has that kind of power, you just want to see him use it. You want to see him kick the shit out of people. This scene where the scene which flipped, I was already taken aback by it because I felt the heart of it. He wanted to help. He had the ability to use his powers. He was getting bullied as a kid, and his father shoos the kids away, and he helps him. But he's holding a fence behind him, which he crushes, trying to kind of desperately not to hit these kids back because he knows that he would have killed them. And you feel that anger, coming from him and his restraint as well. And then when it kind of gets to the middle of it, where Zod has his mother held up, and he literally takes Zod, he flies him through a silo, smashes him into a field, and repeatedly smashes his face while saying, "You think you can threaten my mother?" I was like, yeah, this is the Superman that I want to see. Yeah. Oh, it's this. Yeah, guys, come back. This is the film that I want to see. Definitely.
I would argue that's the Zod that we needed.
That Zod was absolutely the Jor-El fight in the beginning with Crow was amazing. He fucked him up almost with ease. Yeah. This is the stuff that we want to see. The fight at the end, I loved. I want to see a big fucking city fight. This thing felt like the chicken fight in Family Guy. It went everywhere. It went to space. It went into a building. It went to a construction site. It went to a train station. It went the fuck everywhere. I loved it. I was just like, at the end of the film, it could have finished there. With the I can't remember what they call it. The Stormbreak. I can't remember what they called it. The thing that just reconditions the Earth to make it more Krypton.
Terraformer
machine. Yeah, the Terraformer. When that first happened and it landed the first time and it came up and just saw bodies of people flying up and just getting slammed back into the ground, I was like, fucking hell, this is brutal. I love this film. This is great. It surprised me, genuinely surprised me. That's why I liked it. In the Snyder Cut, obviously, it follows a lot of the same beats with the first film. But again, this film's almost done the same. I felt like I'm watching Man of Steel again. This film has surprised me. I came watching it with zero expectation. In fact, I watched it expecting to dislike this film. I expected to generally dislike this film, and I felt myself intrigued by characters. I felt myself emotionally involved, connected. In my thought, with characters, and I thought the shots looked amazing. I was immersed in this film. But the battle scenes as well, the fight scenes in it, made me go, oh shit, just like Man of Steel did, like out loud, which I never thought I'd do. I never thought I'd actually react to this film. And I was just like, this is fucking sick. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, there's still parts of it, like certain characters, what we see. There's certain characters what we see for the first time, right? And it looks like they've been made with a bag of hammers. Like, they don't look great. No. It is a big spoiler, so I'm not going to say who it is, but it was one what you could tell it's been added as an afterthought, Joe, after years and years and years, and like fan rumor and an innuendo about people what are coming forward. So it's done a very good job of honouring a vision, what he's had a clear vision for Superman, like from start to finish, and it's also paid off weird little bits of fan theory and things what I get little weird fanboys what like us what will give us a little pop like, oh I fucking love that little thing. It's just put Warner Brothers in the worst fucking position in the world, and I love it for that. Maybe more alone than anything. Because it is really fucked them. Because if they went to Snyder now, he could just tell them to go fuck themselves, and I would love that wholeheartedly. Like, no, fuck off. I've shown you what I could do, and
do you know what? There's not one bad review about it. I want to see what people are saying, and it's not the general consensus. I'm looking at like DC fans are a lot like Star Wars fans. A lot of hate in there, a lot of mixed feelings. They're very live action or animation or comics, and not one person saying a bad thing about it. Not one. I've not seen a bad thing about it. I've seen some people say it was better than what I thought, or it was, it was good, but I still don't understand what the hype was. But they're still admitting it was good. For me, I feel like I'd fit in that bracket, but I wouldn't be so held back to say, actually, I enjoyed this film. I did. I can't, I'm not good. There's no point of denying it. If you like a film, you like a film. I went into this film not expecting to enjoy it, and I came out really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Yeah.
After it, and I'd seen, it might have been definition from Heavy Spoilers, someone else tweet, right, now just give him Attack on Titan live action with all the budget in the world he wants.
Yeah.
And make it like as a HBO series. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, please.
I'm about that now. Like, just let him just do whatever he wants and let him make stupid 4-hour, 8-hour long things and just put like...
But he's done it. He's
just give him a budget and just don't tell him if it's going to be a film or a TV show. Just give him a budget and go and take as much time as you want to film that. There's your money, and then when he comes back, go right. Are we going to chop it up into a series, or are we going to release it as 2 films, or is it just going to be one really long film? Like, that's as much as the studio needs to be involved. Yeah. Really, just how are we going to put it out? How is it going to make us the most money? Let him go and do his thing, and then we'll just push it out.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all they needed to do.
We'll market it for you, which is the way it was always done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's what it should be. You employ someone because of their talent, and then restrict their talent. Like, what the fuck is that? What is it?
No, there's no way.
It's the most backwards way of thinking, and all I can think of is it's producers which have got really, really small penises and really, really, really big fucking egos and things like that. They know better than the director of what his vision is. It's
the only way you should bring in more than one director or producers is on a series like Mandalorian, where you're telling the same story in different POVs.
Yeah, but it still has a lead, like a lead storyteller. So it still has an EP.
Oh, you have a head of cinematography,
that's what I mean. So it
absolutely.
still has one clear vision, and you bring somebody on just for like a slightly new take or a slightly new input. Yeah, as long as it sticks to your unique.
The tonal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you need the pattern that is going, but tell your story about what's happening within that universe. It will work because it's just going to be the same story in your point of view. It's everyone's going to appreciate it. It's going to be unique. Not in a film. In a film, it needs to be that. It needs to be that structure. Unless there's a part of the film which is going to take you out of the main thing. You're going to see it from the point of view of a pedestrian or bar person. Get someone else to direct that. Make it show it in there, because then it will be quirky, like Sin City. Fine. Yeah, do something like that. But yeah, not in like a major film. You just can't do it because you end up getting what the original Justice League.
Like you've just said, Sin City 2 did it. That is 3 different films.
Yeah,
it's just smashed into one. It's tonally, dialogue, almost even the way it's shot, even though it's all film noir. Is all 3 stories within that film are completely different. Like really, really weird. It feels like a mini series just stuck into a film.
Yeah, it does.
It's ridiculous. And 2 of those stories are really good. But
what are you expecting? Just to go back to
Justice League.
What are you expecting?
I wasn't really expecting anything. I was just expecting the first film. Because I kind of forgot that it was 4 hours, so I was just expecting the first film just with some extra scenes. But what I feel like I'm going to get now is the parts that I liked from the first film and a load of extra stuff that I liked from the first film.
Sure.
But I don't know. I'm hoping that I don't get the big shit cloud thing at the end. I'm hoping Steppenwolf isn't as much of a little pussy as he was in the first film, because that was one of my major dislikes from the first Justice, like the original Justice League, was that as soon as Superman turns up, there's now no longer any kind of threat. Do you know what I mean? Like everything, as soon as he turns back up, we know everything's going to be fine. There's just nothing now. So it was just fucking dull as shit from then on out. So I just want something a little bit more engaging. So it sounds like that's what I'm going to get. So
that's
interesting. It goes into Steppenwolf's history and gives him the reason why he is like that with Darkseid and stuff like that. So he does feel that flesh out his whole character, and he isn't such a big whiny little bitch.
No,
right.
He is a massive improvement, like night and day. But I still have issues with his armor.
Yeah,
right. Just with the way it looks, or
just like I don't understand what they were going for, like look wise.
It feels like it's kind of like
offend me. Like it makes tonal sense with the rest of the technology like they use. It makes sense, but it's not the greatest looking thing in the world.
It doesn't look. Yeah, it feels a bit T2. You know what I mean? A little bit. Kind of. It doesn't really have like.
Yeah, Cyborg has the same. I have the same issue with Cyborg at times as well, but it's only every now and again with Cyborg because it isn't as shiny and chrome-like.
I was going to say that. So in the first one, Cyborg looked very plasticky. Like his armor, I think light. Even the sound edit and stuff like that was poor on it, where it didn't feel clunky and heavy.
Yeah,
it should really be.
I feel like it doesn't in this either. However, I feel like it's more real. I don't think it's supposed to. I feel like it's meant to seem quite like he should be, like he's a bit quite, he's a bit nimble in this. He's not like Iron Man, he's just a bit, it's a bit looser, but it feels more real. It feels like this is.
Remember, the technology it's based on is so light years ahead anyway. I wouldn't expect it to be making a hit in an eyes. It'd be wild if it made an absolute fucking racket. Like
I'm not like a suit of armor from fucking
No, but you do.
You know what I mean?
When he's walking about, you do hear like that, like a satisfying chunk, when his foot hits the floor. Yeah, like you hear stuff like that. When you see him drop out of the back of a lorry onto the floor, and like it's a noticeable weight drop. It's not like a normal person stepping off. It's a note when it hits the floor. It's a note, and I was just like, oh, that's really well done. Like it's only like even there for like quarter of a second, but I noticed it.
All I needed. That's it. Because like I say, it just felt very, very toy and very plastic. And that's not what I want from someone that's supposed to be as powerful as Cyborg is.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely doesn't in this. This is one thing that I thought to myself though, because Marvel do this very well. Even going back to the first Iron Man, it's barely kind of, it still looks okay during the tank missile scene and shit like that. It looks good. We can see the scratches on it. It feels real. It feels like he's wearing armor, but it's still noticeably CGI.
Yeah.
And when I first saw Cyborg in this, I was a bit like Mike. I was kind of like, I felt like it's something that again could either I get over it and it will just become part of this film, or it's something that would draw me out. So I was again on the fence, and I kind of found myself going, why can't they just Iron Man this? It looks very, very, what's the word that he says in Donnie Darko, futuristic. It looks very out there. It looks like it's CGI that's made to look like metal. That's how it initially felt for me. And but it doesn't look like metal. It looks like CGI was supposed to. Whether Iron Man, it looks like metal. But
yeah,
CGI.
when you see the bleeding heart armor from Iron Man, when you see it coming out and it's bleeding out like that, that still looks 100% better than any shot of Cyborg in this. Like it, but it doesn't take me out of it. Like it looks and feels like a big heavy chunk of fucking metal at the end of the day. So am I gonna be? And the fact that you see him struggling, getting used to the flying, and like you see him struggling with it at first, that it's not just like, oh, look at me, I'm all of a sudden the strongest thing in the universe. Well, I've got electricity, and I can master it all instantly. Like it shows him struggling with it all a bit. Like it does a better job of building it's just building him, which makes the stuff what took you out of it really took you out of it a lot more acceptable in this.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I feel like they have made improvements on it. It doesn't look so CGI. But I feel like what you said is literally hit the nail on the head. I feel like the warmth of this character and this character arc as well draws you into him to the point where you kind of forget, you kind of just accept, okay, this is how it looks in this film. And it doesn't, I think once you, like getting into a hot bath, once you settle in, it doesn't feel out of place at all. In fact, it works, works with the universe. I'm coming out with metaphors today.
I was like getting into just seeing Cyborg is like getting into a hot bath. Makes you sweat. Gets you wet.
This is your mind. Why do you go there? Exactly. If you want to give yourself a cheeky tug, it's up to your discretion. It's your discretion.
Oh, I will say this has got the best masturbation joke in any comic book film as well.
Better than the hammer joke in Endgame.
Yeah,
takes them a while.
It's the literal like just straight to someone like perfect.
Sick. I'm dead excited to watch it. I fucking can't wait.
Yeah.
Really cannot wait.
It's something what needs to be seen in one viewing though. Like I would fucking hate to have broke it up.
I won't do that.
Yeah.
It's just go and watch it. It's so much of improvement, and hopefully it gives studios a little bit of we need to let our hands off stuff and let directors do what they're there for.
Absolutely. Mike, what's your final verdict then? What would you recommend?
Are we getting a rating or what? Or do you want to?
Yeah, let's get a rating going out of 10.
Shit.
7.8.
Oh,
specific.
Yeah, I didn't want to go 8, but I didn't want to go 7.5 because I thought that was doing it a disservice. Because the things what I don't like is, like I said, it's tiny bits. Yeah. And you're never going to make a perfect film because you're never going to make Big Trouble in Little China again. So,
unfortunately, they might make Big Trouble in Little China again.
You'd be never making Big Trouble in Little China. They can make More Trouble in Little China or whatever other bollocks. They're never going to make Big Trouble in Little China ever again. Because if they do, something might happen.
Oh, fucking hell. You've been warned. You've been warned. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to give it a strong. I'm going to go the extra mile because I really had this in my head when Mike said, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. The extra 0.2 points are literally for because of the expectation that I had for it. I think for me it's pushed it up a little bit. I think this is a very good film. The flaws have let it down an extra 2 points. Definitely, these are things that are still in the film that I disliked from the previous ones. And I think it's just how, whether it's Warner Brothers, whether it's just how DC, I don't know, have chosen to shoot a lot of the action in their films. But I think from a DC film, I think you can go the extra mile, not like Marvel, where Marvel it's all action, lights, big, quite flashy. With DC, you can be a bit more humble with it, and you can make some of those scenes a lot better just by showing it from a different angle and being a bit artistic with it. And I think if they'd dared to do things like that, we'd appreciate it a bit more. And some of the dialogue, like Mike said as well, was still a little bit corny for me. Some of the corny stuff as well with them, which they kept, was them kind of saving each other and then kind of giving each other a look, and then someone else would look and they would nod. That happens quite a lot in this film. I was like, yeah, your friends fight people now. We get it. Yeah, that's great. But again, it's just these types of, yeah, your friends. Well, yeah, exactly, just his friends. But it's but again, but it doesn't take away from the grandeur of the film, the story arcs, the storytelling, the epic shots, most of the dialogue in this film, and some of the surprise scenes that we get in it as well. Literally, I found myself going "fuck" in this film. Literally, I almost stood up. It was a good film.
At the end of it, all I just want is Flashpoint. Make Flashpoint. Fuck off. I need Flashpoint. Straight up. I wasn't ever in for a Flash film, like a solo Flash film. I just wasn't. But I know off the back of that, it can be done well. I can trust it's not going to be another X-Men situation where they just absolutely
fuck the timeline.
To oblivion by the end of the first act, and then the rest of the film doesn't make any sense. I need that, and I need Thomas Wayne to be Batman and murder a load of people.
Jeffrey, is it Jeffrey D. Morgan in this world as well, isn't it? So your Vicky will be happy.
Yeah.
What she call him? Sexy dad. Is that what she calls him?
Sexy dad.
Sexy dad.
Yeah, cool. So everyone watching, definitely go out and see it. Believe the hype. It is a good film. There's no denying. Just watch it.
If they drop it at the cinema.
Say again.
Would you watch it at the cinema when it drops? Because I can't see them not putting it at the cinema.
Yeah, I suppose. I'll give it another watch. Anyways, I was, I thought I'd even watch it again this weekend, just because I did enjoy it that much. It seems like I want to see it again. So I guess if they dropped it in the cinema, I would watch, depending on how much I watch it at my own home.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal. If they dropped it in the cinema, now, and I hadn't seen it for the second time, I'd definitely go. Definitely.
I'd go just because I want to see what that looks like. Just
on the big
all
screen.
of it looks.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, cool. Okay, so let's move on to our other geekerage, and that is Falcon. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep doing it. And that's for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Boy, so Alan, did you watch this one?
I did. I
watched pause there. That was really suspenseful, wasn't it? That was great. It was like a Guy Ritchie film.
Because I thought I was going to burp while I was drinking, and I thought, well, that's not a good idea. But I didn't, so it was okay.
Okay.
So I watched it. I didn't have time while I was in work, so I watched it when I got home. So I literally finished it just before I jumped on this. Shocked, fully shooketh.
Thou be shooketh.
Thou be absolutely shooketh. I'm genuinely, because I wasn't expecting anything, and I didn't, because I was driving to work this morning, and I was thinking about it. I'm thinking, I just wasn't bothered. I just wasn't asked. I just thought, oh fucking hell! I felt like, oh god, I've got to watch that. Do you know what I mean? Because we're going to talk about it tonight. So I knew I was going to watch it, but I don't know if it's because there'd been not really any significant gap between Wanda and this coming out, and then I know Loki's coming on June the 11th, so I'm like, well, by the time this ends, then we go straight into Loki, and I felt like a bit oversaturated and a bit overwhelmed by. Usually, when we get a film, we watch the film and we have 6 months to process that film and rewatch it a couple of times and really figure out how we felt about it. I haven't got that with Wanda yet, and I'm straight on to Winter Soldier and Falcon. Yeah. So I was very much just like, I don't need it in my life today. I really don't, but I'll watch it and whatever. And then I fucking whacked it on tonight, and oh my god, I really
explain.
So I put Winter Soldier on tonight, and then I was like, bang, straight away action, which is what I expected. The opening scenes with Falcon was incredible. But then when it got to the Winter Soldier bits, when it got to the Bucky bits, like I kind of knew where that story was going to go with the old man. I kind of figured that that's what that was.
It wasn't a spoiler. I think it was quite obvious. At first, I was like, are they trying to make this a spoiler for us? And then obviously they lingered with Bucky. So they're like, for all you guys that are struggling to catch up, we're just going to keep it here for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's like, that's obviously going to happen, but I wasn't disappointed that I knew that that's where it was going. I was kind of, it felt like it had a shit ton of heart.
Yeah.
Like his scene with the psychiatrist, I would watch full episodes of that because that was fucking genius.
Yeah,
that level of kind of halfway between comedy and a little bit serious, but then it's quick-witted and the banter and stuff. It was just from start to finish. I was so satisfied. It was so good.
That scene reminded me of The Sopranos a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe way is like It can go from very jovial to very, very violent and angry and all over the place in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's just two people talking to each other like that.
Yeah.
That's when it looks far better though. That scene was shot incredibly. But that's the first thing what popped in my mind. I was just like, oh, that's like it's a very similar interaction Tony has with his shrink. That's what I got from it. Like, apart from he's not forced to be there by the law, type of thing.
Yeah.
But intelligently wrote, like far more intelligent than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it just shocked me.
What I loved about it, and this is what I said in the on the podcast, the one before last, was which I was happy that they did, which was the fact that they kept the same, I would say Captain America theme throughout. It still feels like a Captain America movie. When it gets espionage and when it gets to the street scenes, we're shot with a handheld. It's a bit shaky. You feel very much at street level. When you get the big epic scenes, you get those amazing CGI cinematic shots that literally, but it still feels part of the same film. They do that in Civil War, Winter Soldier. You know, they do this heavily here as well. So it feels like it's still on that same kind of thread, which is really good.
I was going to say, I think that's maybe why I liked it so much, because it did feel a lot like Winter Soldier, because it had the callbacks of like where Falcon jumps out of the plane at the beginning, and I was like, that felt like Winter Soldier when he goes, has he got
jumps out
when he's got a parachute, and she's just like, nah.
Yeah,
it felt like that, and then like the market scenes and stuff in Civil War and stuff. I know exactly what you're saying. I think that's probably why I liked it so much.
Well, going back to the Winter Soldier stuff, that fight scene in the plane, Joe, when he's fighting John, which is the guy Cap beat the living shit out of on that boat. Did everyone go, well, because as soon as he popped up, I was like, oh, that's got to be mirroring him struggling to beat that guy, Joe, when Cap just smashed him about that dead easy. And he struggled, but he got the job done in the end. But that's what it felt like to me, like it was a big foreshadowing, like, you are not as good as Cap. At this point, you are not Cap. And I like that. It's bold,
it's the same
bold choice.
It's the same. It's the same because it's like a boss fight. It's redoing a boss fight, and this guy's. And this is where the start is. And when he did that, when he hit himself, that's what he did with Cap. When he slapped his chest, that's what he did with Cap. When he fights him again, it was a hard fight for him. In fact, to the point where the guy could suit up again and jump out of the plane.
I will say. It was a hard fight, but Falcon's far more combat effective than I thought he was. Like, he'd had a couple of bits and bobs and scenes, but he looked really fucking capable. When he flies into the plane the first time, when Red Wing takes off the fucking door, and he flies into the plane, and he does that first spin and takes out the guy. I was like, hooked. That first move, I was like, this is going to be fucking awesome. This guy is leveled up. I do feel like we're going to see a lot of shots very similar to that. Him sweeping through stuff very quickly, and I just hope they don't overdo it. And it gets a little bit boring because it does. It's very, very cool to see. But if you're seeing that in twice every other episode, like it's
Okay, you've proved that you can do that. Like, show us something else cool enough.
They've got the right ingredients here to counteract that, because of course we've got the Winter Soldier in this, and obviously they've not met yet. So I think, obviously Falcon's great for, again, these amazing cinematic things. When you think of the Winter Soldier, it's gritty, isn't it? It's very ground level. It's very much hand-to-hand combat. It's, you've got, doors ripped off of planes and used to smash people with. It's going to be brutal. So I think even if they do have more of that Falcon stuff, it's going to be mixed in with this stuff. So it's going to feel like a completely new formula altogether. But
it's going to show him getting OP, isn't it? He's got to showing him leveling up. Like, it can't just be you retired from the military 10 years ago because you got snapped away, and then you've got all that time, and all of a sudden, after dicking about with the Avengers for 6 months, you're like that all of a sudden without any super serum or anything like that. It's It feels like they need to go into how he got as good as he is. Like, there's something missing there. I feel like we haven't been told fully yet.
No, definitely not. But I like again, we was expecting to see a bit of his past, pop up again. That the scene where we saw the Winter Soldier revised again on our fucking screen, I was loving that. It was just fantastic. And then we saw the guy there. I mean, when he was the guy's trying to get the key in the lock, and he's walking towards him. Obviously, 90% of me is like, he's going to kill this guy, but that little bit of me was like, does he kill someone that's not mission effective? Will he kill an innocent? Will he kill a civilian? If it's not been ordered.
Leave no witnesses, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I thought. No, he shot him. I just genuinely thought it was going to be one of them scenes where he just crush his head with his big metal fucking arm. Like, just pop his head.
I didn't know what he'd do.
I would have appreciated that more.
I fucking would have loved it. Yeah. Because it's bad enough that he's killed him, because we knew where that was going to go. But that if he brutally killed him, that would have felt even. It would have had even more and added even more emotion to it. Like, I would have fucking fully appreciated that.
Like, if he just literally tore his head off,
just pushed his head against the wall, like, just literally squished his head.
Yeah. It would have been.
You don't even need to see it.
I think for that though, because I think what obviously they're trying to do is they want us to like this guy.
You can't go too far, but we know he killed Tony's parents.
But we know,
If you don't like him after the fact that he killed Iron Man's mum and dad, literally smashed his mum's face in.
But that's the thing. We appreciate that Steve still sees good in him, or still saw good in him. That's why he thought he was willing to save. That's why he was willing to save him. He thought, it was redeemable. This is what Steve thought on it. They showed enough or as little as of Bucky for us to just kind of appreciate the fact that he was there without having too much of an opinion on it. Now he's our main focus. So now we are questioning: do we actually like this guy? Are we rooting for this guy to work?
More so than ever.
Mate, I most definitely am. But from a production point of view and from a majority audience point of view, people are going, this is the guy that's very much in the background that's done some bad things. And what I love about this is they're not trying to hide it. In fact, they emphasize that not only has he gone around, they could have just had him killing all the fucking security guards and killing the target. But no, there's an innocent guy there. He was just doing his thing. He wanted to get home early so he could revise for his fucking speech, whatever he had to do the next day, whatever he had to do. He's just a nice guy, just trying to live his life. And then he got
an early night in a bath. That's all he wanted.
Early night in a bath, watching a bit of Cyborg, but no. Early night in the bath, and he was just, and even the police said wrong place, wrong time. That was that was used. That phrase was used, and it was, and he killed him for it. And so again, I love the fact that they're not trying to hide this. They're not trying to go, but he's good now. He's what's in the past is in the past. Let's just have him trying to reform himself. They fully focus on what he is and what he's done, and which makes the journey greater, because you see how you feel bad for him in a way, having to even speak to that kid's dad. Vix has just brought this up as well. No, of course you wouldn't. It's his son. No. I don't think he would, and he's never going to appreciate this. And this is why
he shoot him, or he may actually even shoot him.
He may, or he would just tell him to get out of his life and never speak to him again. He may die of a heart attack because the guy's pretty old. Let's face it. I mean, there's so much that could happen. He couldn't forgive him though. He's got shrines still dedicated to his son. The pain's real. As a father, fathers out there, would you forgive someone that said that he killed your son just cause?
Nah.
Of course you wouldn't. Of course you would. It doesn't matter who this person is. You might hate him for getting this close to you.
If anything, fair, I think you'd hate him even more.
Yeah,
but for liking him, I think because you'd have the hate that was already there for him because he took your son away, but then you'd hate yourself for the fact that you'd allowed this person to get close to you.
Yeah,
and you actually physically liked him as a person before you knew, so there'd be like guilt attached to that. Fuck that. Now you would hate him even more.
Most definitely. And this guy is clearly, and from the first scene where we saw the old gent in the alley, he's clearly a guy that doesn't like people. I think that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, he's our kind of people.
Yeah, he's our kind of people. Don't like
just
people,
a dickhead.
A dick, but
just aggy little prick.
Yeah, exactly. These guys have found each other because he's like Bucky. That old gent doesn't like people. Bucky doesn't like people. They found
the same age as Bucky.
Friends. Yeah, but he's probably younger.
A bit younger, yeah.
In fact,
about 16, 17 years younger.
Yeah, he definitely is younger. But he's exactly. So obviously we had Bucky try. He left his day. Why he'd do that? By the way, my God. But he left his day. I was just, mate, as soon as he did that, I was like, mug. Fucking dickhead.
Mug.
Get in the fucking... You're playing Battleship with tigers. Are you nuts,
bro? Could have sunk her.
Are you nuts? Mate, he could have sunk her. But instead of sinking her back...
Put one in an undercarriage.
Instead of going to C3... he decided to. We all know what C means. He decided to go to. He decided to go back, and he tried to. He was overwhelmed with guilt, and I think that's when he tried to make his first attempt to repent.
We don't know that
to confess to this guy. Well, he most definitely did.
Yeah, but man's 106. He might have just nipped out for some Viagra and just he went to Old Fella's on way.
On way and he actually generally tried to give him the
and
money.
He was just like he was like I was picking up some V from my neighbour. I thought I'd best give you some money back.
I don't think anyone was in a shadow of a doubt of where my priorities lie. Sorry, Alan, please continue.
No, you're right. You got you're okay. You're okay.
Yeah. He wanted to get some Viagra.
Sorry, that's what I think. He just nipped out for some V. It was fine.
Yeah, he says how long? Several years in the ice feels like a very long time.
It was like 90 years or something. Stupid like that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, mate. But it's not like he can use his hand. Rip it, tear off, wouldn't it? And this guy's literally
just gets carried away and rips his cock off.
You're presuming that he's left-handed, Nick. Well, I mean, he might be right-handed. I mean, he's still a super soldier, so like he's still going to be pretty strong. Like that's a grip and a half, that, isn't it? But...
Yeah, I mean, that's a grip and a half. That it's. Anyways, let's stop talking about Winter Soldier and masturbate. Let's talk about some of the Falcon's backstory then. Because we touched on a little bit of what I've noticed was a tiny bit of prejudice in this. Our first kind of nod towards it. And this was, in fact, it happened very briefly at the bank, where his sister kind of almost accused the banker of why he wasn't giving them this loan, and she didn't say it, but I guess it was on the tips of everyone's tongues and kind of. And he said, "No, it's not that. Obviously, this guy's a hero." So I was like, "Oh, okay." They were kind of going for it, but not quite. And then at the end, I think is probably one of the biggest nods. So what's happened? So, Falcon gave Cap's shield back.
To the Smithsonian, it went back. Yeah. It wasn't to the.
He didn't give it back. He gave it to the Smithsonian. He decided to dedicate this to Captain America's legacy. So it could be shown amongst the tributes towards Cap. And then what did the bad white man do, Mike?
Give it to another white fella, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Standard.
But it's not even that. The white fella that they give it him. Looks. Do you remember that the old toys, Boglins, whatever? It was like a weird goblin thing.
Yeah,
that's what that guy's.
Yeah,
that's what that guy's face
his
looks
mouth.
like.
Yeah, his mouth really went on forever, didn't it?
It looks like they put his.
He looks like Cap before the super serum.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it looks like
It looks like Cap, kind of geekiest. Yeah, like that's it. When he takes his mask off, to
me, when he takes that off, he just looks like every other member of the alt-right. All he needs is a tiki torch and the right black and yellow Fred Perry, and he looks just like one of the Pro Boys. He looks like an incel where he's had far too much creatine because he can't afford steroids. But yeah, that's what when I saw his face, I was like, "That guy, my guy, looks like a boggling finger." And someone's put his hand upside and then gone like that with his face too tight, and his forehead's touching his chin.
Yeah,
it's fucked.
Yeah. Can we just take a minute to appreciate how well Anthony Mackie can act as well, because that pure, like, really raw emotion that was on his face while he was watching that scene on the news was some of the best acting I've seen in a really long time, and he didn't even say anything.
I'm not biting. You're trying to make up for Idris Elba comments here. I feel like at the start I kind of bought it. At the start I kind of bought this, and then I was like, it was really intense. And I was like, no, it wasn't that good. And I feel like what can he be trying to make up for? What can he be trying to make up for? Alan, we know your true feelings about it. He was probably watching Anthony Mackie going, "Oh mate, where's fucking Winter Soldier? Yeah, mate, who cares about Falcon?"
The Winter Falcon.
Yeah, facts, mate, facts. Linda saw it as well, and let's face it, doing way too much. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it, mate. So I feel like you've got a bit of ground to cover, but mate, by sucking black cock ain't gonna do it, bruv. Mate, ain't gonna do it, mate. It's not gonna do it, bruv. You need to just be humble, mate. What do you really feel about that? If you don't like it, it's okay. If you don't like the acting, Alan, it's okay.
I think it was fucking incredible.
Right, get away from this.
Vicky begs to differ. Is that true?
It really isn't true.
Is that true?
Like Don Cheadle. I was annoyed that the War Machine was in it. Even for a split second, I was like, get out of it. Go
kind of like get out of the country.
Just go away. No, not get out of the country. Just get out of my eye line. Just be away from me.
Get out of what?
I'll tell you what. After his part in this, I'm actually up for Armor Wars.
I feel like
genuinely,
he's got a story
because
that hasn't been
I think he's going to be at that by this point. He's going to be like jaded and hating everyone. He's just going to murder a bunch of people.
Did I write down the scores?
That's what you said.
Yeah, hang on. Armor Wars got 1 out of 30.
Yeah.
Was that my one?
It might have been your cursory. Like, I have to just give it 1 because, like, I feel bad. So that 30 seconds in Winter Soldier did not redeem the fact that none of us want to see Armor Wars. Right, back to anti-blackness.
I can't believe you read it out, you knobhead.
I'm too tired to even fucking argue. I can't be arsed.
I'm just saying, mate. Do you know what? I'm glad Linda wrote that as well, because I can't
before we go anywhere.
Just be me. Yeah.
Just before we go anywhere, Vicky pointed out. Before I fuck off and forget. Right, so. When you first see Joe the shrimp yard, Vicky says that is the one from Forrest Gump.
No.
Is that true? Does anyone know? Because I think that's a bit of a stretch.
I feel like that's a stretch.
Mate, I'm gonna have to watch Forrest Gump. It's a long ass film, that.
Yeah, but it's only the part when they're on the boat. You don't need to watch the whole film.
I feel like
maybe.
I feel like no.
We're getting a bit of backlash here from your biased comments here.
I didn't recast him.
Would you? Would you?
Yeah, with Terrence Howard. Like
I can think of better people than Terrence Howard.
He was the better version of that part. Is what I was getting at. There are better people to play that part.
Better black version, he means. Out of everyone in this point.
No, just better version of War Machine.
Whatever. I feel like this is a slippery slope, Alan. What were you saying about Anthony Mackie's acting anyways? Go on. Give us the...
I thought he was really fucking good.
I'd rate his acting in this as well, to be honest. I think it's some of the most solid acting I've seen from the guy, like out of everything he's done.
I actually fucking hate you.
I generally
do.
I generally rated his acting in this. I actually thought it was really good. And there was loads of scenes in it. Even the scene at the bank, actually, where he was kind of being a bit chummy with the guy and pretending to be Falcon. And then
I think pretending he is Falcon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
He did
that. He didn't actually have the wings, did he? You know what I mean? That's what
I can't believe he asked for a selfie with his wings out.
Yeah, exactly. After he told them they were denied, that was jokes.
The sheer audacity of the white folk. No, you can't have this, but can I have a picture of you now and I'll put your wings out?
All joking aside, do we feel like they're going to, this is kind of open the doors for kind of more serious, because we've never really had any serious conversations about bias in Marvel. I think apart from Black Panther, where...
I was going to say, Black Panther had a bit, but like, you are right, there's not been...
I mean, the black guys were just happy to be there, and the white guys were just happy for them to be their sidekicks, right? So, mate, tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're completely right, because they're all just pro-American war machine. Like, it's all about, do you know what you should do after watching this? Go join the army. Like, that's all any Marvel film is, basically.
No, exactly. So, apart from Black Panther, where it was mentioned quite a lot, there's been nothing else, literally nothing else regarding it at all. And I feel like, and to be honest, when you're telling a superhero movie, it needs to be given the courtesy, the gravitas, and the ultimate exposure, and it needs to be nurtured and told in the correct way. When you're trying to put together a superhero movie, you won't be given justice, even if just mentioned for a few moments. So do you feel like putting it into a live action series is probably the best way to draw attention to this?
Yeah, only because I understand what you're saying, because I think as soon as you go to cinema and you're talking about the whole world, a lot of the whole world won't watch that stuff. Like China are definitely not going to be all about watching a bunch of Black Lives Matter stuff. It's just not going to happen, and Disney wouldn't put that in a film because of that. Whereas they can take, we can put a TV show on where we don't have to rely on big money coming in through cinemas. Yeah, it just feels like something Disney wouldn't touch on the big screen. Just for the target audience as well. I think the TV stuff's aimed at.
Yeah, it was a big thing that in Star Wars. When they minimize Finn for the Chinese audiences for the Force Awakens. When I saw that, I was absolutely gobsmacked. You know what I mean? Disney was just like, sorry, but this is what they asked for. We have to appease. But it's disgusting. You know what I mean? It's blatant as well. Lead character. So I agree with you. I agree. But at the same time, despite the fact that I agree that this is not what this is why they wouldn't. Obviously it's not right.
I'm not saying it. I would rather them do it in the cinema and do it properly, but I don't think Marvel films are a device. No, because Black Panther proves that's not true. Yeah, they should be putting this. They should be putting all of this stuff into their main product and not giving in to the whims of different areas, there's different audiences, just because a government doesn't.
I was
dictate.
literally just going to say, just to play devil's advocate, or have they looked at? They made Black Panther. It got an Oscar nomination. It made like over $1 billion at the box office, and everyone fucking loved it. So did they look at that and go, "Oh shit!" Like that is a big, that's a big portion of our fan base. Maybe we should be trying to tell more of their stories than just fucking ignoring it and cracking on with what we've been doing for donkey's years. Yeah. Like, has that led into the why they're doing this, and with Falcon and Winter Soldier being like the only thing that they're putting out, or the thing that it fits best in story wise, they're not bringing any films out, so it's not like they can probably put it in a film at the moment, but it would fit in a film quite easily.
Again, it depends on what type of film, because you're not putting that into the Doctor Strange film, are you?
But even in Black Panther, even in Black Panther, fucking Killmonger referenced it. It wouldn't say this is a heavy part of it. I'd say if it was spoken about, it would be less than 60 seconds of screen time, even in Black Panther. He referred to it before he died. He referred to it before he died. And then there was a scene where you saw the black slaves leaving the boats when in the epilogue. Yeah. So in the prologue.
Prologue before.
Yeah, in the prologue. Sorry. So it's been ages since we've been to the theatre, Mike, by the way, man.
All right, I know. It's been a while.
We need to get back to that.
Let's get back on that musical tips.
We need to get back on that musical shit, man. Anyways, right. So it was mentioned briefly there, but it wasn't a heavy part of it. You know, it just featured mainly black characters. So now, I feel like they're pushing towards this now. So obviously, this is going to be brought up. So do you reckon that this is going to be now a theme of an episode or two, or do you reckon it's going to be something that they mention?
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the main thing throughout the series. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up with a Black Captain America, which isn't the Falcon, before the end of it. That's my big thing. I think we'll get that.
Though. It is a fine line they'll have to walk, because there's a line between telling a story and telling it the right way and telling it properly, or exploiting the fact that they've got this that's going on in the world at the moment and they can weave it into their story, and they've got a huge amount of black fans from Black Panther. So have they seen the volumes of Black Panther and the amount of money that it's made, and the predominantly black audience that went to go and see it, and then used that by tailoring a story that's for them and hammering it home to get every ounce of money that they possibly can. So there is that as well. Like, they have to walk a really fine line between telling a story right and telling a story that serves only them.
Yeah. Well, they have got history in the comic books, like the actual comic books, like the original form of being very pro-black, from maybe the 50s, like onwards, like so there is a lot of source material to fall back onto. So it's not like they're just pilfering modern, like what the modern goings on. They've got plenty of stuff. Like if you go through the late 70s and 80s and stuff like that, where there is a lot of like the Black Panthers and stuff like that, and like the Guardian Angels are all that's all mentioned in the comics.
Yeah,
all of it. It's not like there's a shortage of the ability to do it.
But they're very pro that stuff. Yeah,
well, the X-Men. The X-Men is literally about that. It's literally about. So it's they've got. I understand Disney have got form for just doing anything for money, and they will do everything for money. But they have got the source material, and if you're going to get the right people behind the camera to do it well, to treat the source material correctly and the audience correctly, I can't see there being an issue.
No, because that's the thing though as well. Because to give it again, it needs to be told well, correctly. It needs to be given the kind of delicate nurturing that a topic like this needs, and told told effectively, especially not only to tell the story but to imply a message. But also, we want to see a fucking superhero film. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is why we're watching this thing. Tell your story, give us your message, but give us what we want to see. Give us what we came to the cinema to see at the same time. And Disney, like you said, Disney are in it for the cash. They're in it for the wave. They're printing money at the moment. Fuck them. But at the same time, they are rich and stupid enough to know what they need to do to also give. Why not have both? Is what they would say. Give it someone that can tell this story and imply the story. Give it a great storyteller. Give it a great black story. A director, producer.
I was going to say, I think it would depend on your representation behind the camera as well. Yeah, it's all right telling this story in front of a camera, but if everyone behind that camera is all white, it doesn't. You're not really telling. You're not going to be able to tell the story correctly, like because you're going to be telling it from a white man's point of view at the end of the day. Like,
when was Lion King? Was it the 90s? Fuck.
90. Yeah. God.
Yeah.
Like
early 96, 97, 96, something like that. Yeah. And then what they decided to do, the Disney Animation have entire orchestras, Philharmonic to San Francisco to the Australian. They used a black chorus to depict the score for most of the Lion King, including the London Philharmonic Orchestra, which they used as well. But the majority of it, they used a black chorus. Black actors they involved in it as well. They went to Africa and generally used it. They know what they're doing. They generally do know what they're doing. They know how to tell authentic stories correctly. And that's the main thing as well. They're not afraid to go to places and generally get these stories. They were, let's face it, the Jungle Book doesn't stand the test of time, nor does a lot of other films. Nevertheless, with this, you can say that you can see that they're waking up, and they know they will. I think they will be the ones that could. They're the ones to be able to kind of pull this off. They could tell this story in the same amazing Marvel fashion that we do, but they can give it the time and someone that would work on it correctly to be able to portray the message at the same time, which they will most definitely do at the same time. But do you reckon they're going to do it is the question. Do you reckon it's going to happen?
Yeah.
I'm more positive after one episode of this that they're going to do stuff correctly than I was after 2 episodes of WandaVision.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right. You should feel like that because there's only 6 episodes in this.
Well, it's not even that. I think the first 2 episodes of WandaVision were purposely made to disorient and to be jarring. Yeah. But it's not, I don't even mean that. I mean, it feels, oddly, it feels like they spent more time on detail and script structure than they probably did with WandaVision, because everything's got real world consequences in this, because it's not set in imaginary world. This is supposed to be as gritty and real as the MCU is.
Yeah, not saying Fantasyland Wanda. No, this is the real world Wanda.
There is no magic and shit, really.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, this is
happening. And as we said before, it gives me that big Winter Soldier feel, which is out of like the standalone like films. That is my go-to. Like, that is my favorite of the standalone MCU films. Not like the Avengers, like big team-ups. Just as a solo film, Winter Soldier's clearly the best thing that the MCU have ever done for me. Like, in tone, structure, the fact that they went, do you know what we can do? We can do political thriller in a comic book film and nail it that well. No one realised it was a political thriller. Like, it's wild.
There's so much espionage in that film. It's great.
Yeah, but that's what this feels like.
Yeah, and it does. This is exactly what I'm saying. It feels like it's cut from the same cloth. It's. You can tell what type of series this is going to be. Already, I'm enjoying the characters that are in it. They've given us a taste of some of the action that they can pull off. We've spoken about it briefly, but let's just go back to fucking Falcon's opening scene. I mean, fucking wow. It was crazy. Mate, Red Wing is I'm never Red Wing was just a thing on his back. I know Red Wing was an actual character, wasn't it, in the comic book? It was actually but they've incorporated it to a stark piece of technology that's on his back that does things, and that we saw in Civil War, I think, for the first time. He helps, he assists them, doesn't he, Red Wing?
Yeah, he gets Spider-Man away.
He saves, that's right. Yeah, he saves what's the name?
Flies him out the window.
Yeah, flies him out the window and shit. Yeah. But you see Red Wing, he's first shown in Civil War. But we see Red Wing take out 2 fucking helicopters here and land safely on the back of fucking Falcon. I mean, when I was seeing this, I was like, Red Wing is fucking sick. Like, I don't give a fuck. His command was, Red Wing, get them off my ass. And then Red was like, all right. You know what I mean? He just did it. It just did it in whatever means it needed to.
The way he refers to him like it's an actual character as well. He's like he treats him like it's a baby. He's like, no, don't touch him. Anytime when you guys talk with him, he glitches out like, just no, stay away. He's mine.
But even when he says when you first see Red Wing, when it saves Black Widow, and he shoots that guy, and she goes, "Thanks, Sam." He goes, "Don't thank me." And she goes, "I'm not thanking that." And he's like, "His name's Red Wing." Go on, kiss him. He's cute. Kiss him. Yeah, exactly. Pet him. He's cute. Yeah, and he's just like, yeah. But yeah, so he believes it's a thing, and it beats Spider-Man. Let's face it.
It saves him in Infinity War as well.
Yeah.
So he comes into play like it's what it is, one of those kind of almost side characters like Jarvis was, where it's always there, but it's only later when it becomes more of a part of the story that you notice how much it's been in previous films.
Previous things, yeah, exactly. He brings light to it as well. And in this, it fucking kicked ass, man. It genuinely kicked ass. It took out those fucking helicopters like they were nothing. 2 helicopters, and he carried on his mission. And that whole scene itself was insane. There was when I was looking at this, I was like, right, I'm looking for dodgy fucking green screen here. Looking for dodgy CGI. I'm looking for kind of sped up scenes. And I'm just like watching this, like this is just like watching a Marvel film. To be honest,
not seeing any of it.
Yeah. I'm just enjoying this thoroughly. It looks great. In fact, when he dropped out of the fucking the plane at the start, I almost got vertigo. It kept on him for ages as it was falling. Before it released his wings, and it wasn't just a kind of fancy intershot screen where it was blatantly green screen or it cut to a bit where he dropped out and then he flew out. He just stayed with him, and you're like, "Fuck! Did he really jump out of this?"
That shot really reminds me of Point Break.
Yeah,
Really, when I saw it, I was like, "That is straight up out of Point Break."
Absolutely,
because it's like
the GoPros on the flight suits as well just looked insane as well. It's like you were there. It was just the whole thing. As soon as I was watching that intro, that's when I messaged. Did I message the group? And I was like, intro to this is guys. Like it is just. I'm already hurt.
I tell you what, I didn't. There's one thing that I was a bit like, why? Is they did the typical like, here's the lead villain thing because we're going to put a different coloured helmet on him, so you know which one he is.
Yeah,
I hate that. Fucking hate that. Yeah, so they literally just went, "Oh, I've got a yellow helmet on. Look, you come and chase me because I'm the main guy." Like, and I really don't like that. And they did just typically it is exactly what they did.
Big up, bro. What you saying, mate? Thank you very much for tuning in. So you can watch it on. So I've seen it on the Disney Channel. If you've got Disney Plus,
Disney Plus,
Disney Plus as well. Yeah, if you're looking at a couple of naughtiest streams, you can check that out as well, I suppose. AMG, you've probably got a couple of links. Drop a couple of links in for my guy. Yeah, man. But I understand what you're saying. Like but there has to be an element of that. They need to follow a story, I guess. But let's face it, the bad guy was badass. He kicked people across the fucking.
He was very, very good. I hated that like typical action film trope of just making him just be that like a tiny little bit different because he's the lead. I just fucking hated it. Like, I don't need it. Don't need it.
I feel like it's going to happen more and more on this. I think we are going to get. I feel like this is the first episode. They're going to throw it all at us. They're going to throw heart at us. They're going to throw the big action sequences. They're going to throw, the little fucking cliffhangers and all sorts. This is the first one. And I feel like we are going to get more of this going forward. I feel like we're going to get things that we're going to go, do you know what? This is just like watching another action series. This in a bit. But what I hope they do is I hope they lead us into this and make us feel like this, and then go completely left wing. They go, actually, this is happening. Now this is happening. In fact, okay, you think it's going to be another typical, now here's like fucking another Marvel character.
Yeah.
Now this is a massive action sequence that came out of nowhere. You know, it's just gonna, you know, and things like they have the ability to do this. So I'm not gonna let my guard down with this one. I feel like it's like I said to you guys before. I feel like it's one that I am going to enjoy more than WandaVision, only because it's one that I'm not going to have to think about it so much. Everything is obvious, even what happened with the guy and his son before on the bar. I remember thinking, oh shit, was that him? You know, and then the camera's left on him for a few more seconds, and I was like, definitely him. And then it was left on there for a bit longer, and I was like, they're not even trying to hide it now. You know what I mean? This is the guy. Yeah, this is definitely what's happening. And this is part of it as well. They're not trying to hide it. They're not trying to make it suspenseful. If anyone, when Bucky got to his dad's room and saw the picture of his son and thought, oh shit, it's him. At that point, you know. Okay, wake up a little bit, because I don't feel like they're going to try and hide anything in this. They're going to very much, and what I said before, they're going to go to very much the Captain America approach on this. Captain America was great at what he did, but what he could do was he could analyze combat situations very well. He knew how to manipulate military influences very well. He could fight someone apart from Thanos, he could fight someone for a few moments, work out how they fought, and then use that against them and beat them quite easily. You know, he was very physical. Yeah, that's how his mind worked. It was brilliant, but in a different way. Obviously, with WandaVision, it was very technical. And Wanda is all about emotion. She's all about heart. Everything she does is for heart. You know, it's about loss. It's about pain. It's about love. You know, it's about emotion with WandaVision. I think that's what they gave us in this. I think this one is going to be less of a thinker, and it's going to be more of more action. It's going to be more dumb fun. There's not going to be any kind of twists that are going to get us going, oh my god, I can't believe it. It's going to be quite blatant. It's going to be obvious, but what you're going to get is going to be great at the same time.
I agree. I genuinely think after WandaVision dropping on the Fridays, and we've had a week off, and then this dropping on Fridays, Disney are trying to take over Friday nights, because it'll become a family thing where everyone can sit down and watch this thing. And if you watch how we was excited as WandaVision went on, if they can do that with all the things, it's only going to be great for fans, where it's going to really annoy a lot of people what doesn't really love BBC One.
Yeah.
Because it's slowly going to be like the end of stuff like just normal television. Yeah. Because it's going to be, America have been ahead in this fact for a long time, just because they've had HBO for a long time. We've had Sky, and we've got Sky Atlantic and stuff like that, but we haven't. Film 4 is probably the closest we've had, film-wise, for the quality of stuff they're going to be putting out. It's going to feel like Disney are just trying to take over everyone's downtime. Because if you've got kids, they've got something else for you. If you've got teenagers, you've got this. If you've got adults, well, you're still going to watch this because you like looking at pretty-looking people. It's as simple as that. It's very well structured.
But they can.
It's just structured really well by them, and it's taken me by surprise, because we used to companies like the BBC just not making the most out of momentum. Whereas I feel like Disney are just going to keep on putting stuff out every Friday. Then it'll be every Friday, Saturday. Then it'll be every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then they'll drop Sundays in. And then they're slowly just building an audience what's going to be loyal, like everyone was with TV shows back in the day. Yeah. And I
mean, they really hooked us. I mean, when Disney Plus came out, they're like, okay, so Disney's bought Star Wars. We're like, for fuck's sake. Force Awakens came out. We're like, yeah, okay, this is all right. Then there's like Disney, Disney and Marvel. We're like, oh, come on. Yeah, okay, yeah, these are great films. That's fantastic. Just Disney in general, full of nostalgia, all of our childhood, just all of the cartoon stuff. Disney, now they're doing the Disney 5-star. Oh, for fuck's, who cares? Yeah, they got Family Guy and American Dad on there. Yeah, obviously I'll watch it. Come on. So,
and they've not even started really tapping into the Fox stuff yet.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot. I almost feel like Disney Plus is created for us three right here. I feel like they've made it for us because there's not much on Disney that we won't watch. You know what I mean? Apart from some of the kids stuff.
But that's the thing. All the kids stuff. Like you've got 3, I've got 2. All of that will be watched by all that. It covers. There's not a single show, or I'd say not a single show, but there are very few shows on Disney Plus that won't be covered by those 5 kids that cover about a 10-year age gap.
Yeah.
So it's fucking genius level marketing and planning, but Jesus Christ, they are gonna absolutely. I mean, we said it on a podcast about 2 years ago. They will fucking rule the world. They will.
Yeah. And if you're watching Disney, there's jobs going.
We really like you.
We really like you. I've been to Disneyland twice. So
me too. I've been twice. Also, I like you.
I like you. Mike is not going to suck any dicks. Mike is like, listen.
No,
I predicted it. I predicted Infinity War single-handedly. You need me, Disney. That's what Mike's going to say.
Mike's like, you need me more than I need you.
Yeah, exactly. Just offer me.
DC probably need me more.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, but Warner Brothers need you less.
Yeah, quite possibly. I don't know. I didn't actually watch that. Was that any good show, the Cleveland show?
I think I've watched 2 episodes, but
he was not one of my favorite characters in Family Guy, to be honest.
But I've heard by the time it come out, I was pretty fucking bored of Family Guy anyway.
Yeah.
It run its course, and I was just like,
it was. I feel like I don't know. It's hard to because I loved Family Guy so much, but it almost felt like a one and done. Like even when I'm watching the series now that I loved back then, it doesn't hold up like The Simpsons, for example. I can watch episodes of The Simpsons and piss myself laughing still. You know what I mean? They'll just be on in the background.
I think Futurama's aged better than The Simpsons.
Maybe. I did enjoy Futurama, but I didn't laugh at it as much as I did with The Simpsons. I just didn't. And to be honest, I don't know. I guess it's just part of nostalgia and part of my childhood. I feel like I laughed as a teenager more at Family Guy than I did at any episode of The Simpsons. But I've come to enjoy The Simpsons more.
I think because it was outrageous, though. Because, like, The Simpsons is comedy on a higher intellect level than Family Guy, I think.
Yeah.
Family Guy is all dick jokes and sex jokes and blowjobs and fucking just obscenity.
And it's very fast-paced as well,
yeah,
Family Guy. Family Guy's like,
a more intelligent comedy. It's a more intelligent joke. It's more thoughtful. You might not get it until like 2 or 3 lines later, and then your brain will just kick in and go, "Oh shit, that was funny a minute ago."
Yeah,
and then you'll start laughing. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And miss another joke. So and there's layers to the Simpsons jokes, whereas Family Guy is very much like one line after one line after a one-liner. The Simpsons has layered jokes within it that is really good on a rewatch.
Vix doesn't get it.
This does not surprise me. This just I don't
and for that she's now saying it with a whole chest again.
Wow.
I disagree. I don't think The Simpsons is boring. I feel like it's a nice family. If it's Sunday, the kids are just like fucking
everyone enjoys it.
Everyone just enjoys it, you know what I mean?
For different reasons.
Apart from Vicky.
Apart from Vicky, because she's a toddler in an adult's body, so that's why she's kind of between 2 different viewpoints.
Yeah.
Whereas most people,
mental Benjamin Button.
Yeah. It's like only her brain and her coordination have gone back with.
But one thing I think we can say is like or I hate it. I think I feel like Disney are definitely on the right road. Anyway, Disney Plus is definitely the right place to be. It's Hold on, what's it saying? Cleveland show was better than Family Guy on par with American Dad.
Yeah, I think I prefer American Dad to Family Guy as well. Like genuinely, is it because the dad is such a CIA stooge? It's just funny, and then he's an alien, and that's even funnier. because the CIA boss would definitely have a pet alien.
I don't know, man. I enjoyed but I enjoyed them both. I felt like I went through phases. You know, there's a point where I never watched The Simpsons. I was literally just watching. I was simply just watching Family Guy or American Dad or something. You know.
I can't remember the last time I watched a bunch of them. South Park, I'll still watch fairly regularly. I think that stood the test of time even better than both of them because
they made it to look shit, but they made it to look shit. So therefore, it's always going to look shit because that's how they made it. They made it a bit better in the later series, but that's
using paper and using an actual Mac.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it looked a bit better, but it still looked shit. It's still 2D. Them just walking across the screen.
It works so well, though.
But it's genius if you make it to look shit in the beginning, but make it, give it its fucking audience. Then it's going to stand the test of time because that's how they made it. It's meant to look shit. So you can't fault it, really.
Yeah, I remember that first season coming out when I was in high school, early years of high school, and there'd be an absolute fucking uproar from parents. But it single-handedly being the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
It was hilarious. I don't understand why. Was it the Alien episode? I remember watching the episode with the Alien, and Cartman's there being probed. And he's asking Officer Barbrady to help him. And I remember watching it for the first time and going, I don't get this. I don't actually understand this. Barbrady just looks at him and goes, Officer Barbrady, help me. And he just looks at him. And Officer Barbrady walks away. He's like, you son of a bitch. I remember literally spitting out my drink, just going, this. Even now, I was like, fuck, that is jokes. Just cursing down the fucking police officer. But yeah, man, fucking Disney Plus is definitely like we all say, it's going to take over the world. Mm-hmm. It's where we go for our general fucking just mate. If you want to watch fucking Marvel, then you fancy sticking on the Star Wars movie as well at the same time, and then you want to watch the series. It's all there, because we don't have to fucking search for shit and do stuff. We can just go, perfect, that's great. So it's good for us. It's very handy for us. Right. So let's move on really quickly because I'm aware of the time, and Al, I think you need to go. So Al, what did you have in plan for us today? Right.
So this week, I was a bit gutted actually because I went to the shop to get some beer. I had to get a Corona and red wine, but I really ideally wanted a Murphy's or Guinness because it was St. Patrick's Day on, I think it was Wednesday. So I was like, I want some I want some dark ale, and they were fucking sold out of literally everything. So I thought, in honor of St. Paddy's Day, we'll have a look at some Irish actors, and I thought we'll pick our favourite film. I've picked 5 actors/actresses. Unfortunately, the Irish pool of actors is fairly male heavy, so one of the actresses that I picked is quite old. But I'm sure you'll know some films that she's been in.
I'm gonna have to get on my phone for this one.
I was going to say
I'm scared.
It's up to you. So if you know a film immediately that you would pick an actor from, so I'm going to give you an actor. I want you to give you to give me your favourite film that they've been in.
Okay.
If you don't know a film that they've been in, like maybe this first one, I have got some options. So there's an aid as well, right? So
this is exciting. This is really exciting. Let's go.
So first, I've got Maureen O'Hara. She's both looking quite blank.
No, yes.
Right. So do you remember? You couldn't immediately put her in a film.
Yeah.
So, do you remember the other week when I picked The Quiet Man as one of my favourite films of all time? So she was in The Quiet Man. She was in McClintock. She was in the original Miracle on 34th Street. Not the original, sorry. The 47 original Miracle on 34th Street. The original Parent Trap in 61. Rio Grande. And Big Jake. So a lot of cowboy films, a lot of films of that area, lots of stuff with John Wayne. So it's up to you. You can have a look at more of a IMDb if you want. There's not a great deal to choose from.
There's a lot, but fuck, I know. Yeah. They're all mayonnaise.
That's what I mean. Like a lot of that stuff I've seen because that's a lot of stuff that I watched growing up, but maybe not something that you would have seen. but I still need you to pick one. I need you to pick one at least that you've seen.
Parent Trap's the only one I've seen. Let's get together, yeah. Everybody's talking now.
There you go.
Let's get together. What do you say? Yeah,
that's probably the 61 Parent Trap. What I can remember off the top of my head.
Right. So is that where we're going?
Yeah, I'm gonna do Parent Trap.
Right. Cool. No problem. And then so I'll skip the next one. We'll come back to that. Right. So I've gone with.
Just wait a second. Apparently, I watched Only the Lonely with John Candy in the other month with Vicky, and I really enjoyed it, but I can't remember it. So
Parent Trap. Parent Trap. It remains.
Yeah. Yeah, because John Candy, in it.
Yeah.
Facts. John Candy's a legend.
I love John Candy. Favourite John Candy film? He's not Irish, but just while we've mentioned it, favourite film, John Candy.
Train's Place in Automobiles.
That's what I was going to go for, you piece of shit.
Well, you have to go for another one now, bitch. You have to go for Cool Runnings, motherfucker. Go for Uncle Buck's, mother.
I've got such a soft spot for Uncle Buck. Like, such a soft spot for Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck is great. In fact, it's my favourite. It's my favourite Macaulay Culkin, even including Home Alone.
No, I'm going to go Home Alone for John Candy as well.
Yeah.
How vulnerable and kind of upset his character is in that film is just,
I like his story about his daughter being left at the funeral home is still one of the most hilarious things that I've listened to date. She goes, she started to come around, she started speaking again, after 3-4 weeks. It's just hilarious. That and the spider scene are the two scenes that make me laugh the hardest. No, definitely. But yeah, mine's definitely Trains, Planes. Especially his scene, man, like when he's like, I like me. My family likes me. My wife likes me. And it's like, oh, mate, oh. And then they play the synth. Oh, mate, don't do it. Don't do it.
All the feels.
All the feels.
Right. So next for Irish actors, we've got Colin Farrell.
Oh, In Bruges.
Oh, nice. Can I pick the same one?
You can go for the same one if you want.
I love In Bruges. I was literally going to think. I watched Phone Booth the other day,
good film,
which I really liked. It might be one of the. No, actually, I was going to say my favorite Forrest Whitaker, but it's not. No, it's I'm going to say In Bruges as well. Great film.
Yeah.
Where he smacks the woman when she tries to hit him.
Just when they're in the hotel thing with the dwarf.
Yeah.
And they're all fucked up and drunk. Oh, it's incredible.
Saying about Debbie's manager trying to tell her about a film that she'd watched, and she's going, "Oh, it's a great film. You need to watch it. I can't remember what it's called. Oh God, it's about this guy. It's set in Bruges, and I just can't remember what it's called."
It's set in Bruges.
It's set in Bruges. I can't remember what it's called. And Debbie just Googled it and just went, "Is it called In Bruges?" That's it. That's
Do you know what? Do you know what? Debbie's probably the worst person to get something like that shit wrong. Like, it
really is, because she wouldn't have immediately, I'd have trolled her for weeks, and months, years even. But Debbie was just because she didn't immediately just go, "It's clearly In Bruges, you fucking weirdo." She just didn't. But I pissed myself when she told me. Oh, where's he? Oh.
He's gone now.
No, I'm here. Brody was being a prick, throwing the ball about.
Okay, good. Oh, yeah, get him away.
I'm still listening.
I'm here. Right, so next we have got Liam Neeson.
Everyone, Taken's probably the one that jumps to mind straight away, instantly.
No, there was one that's
kind of like his
something...
resurgence. When everyone went, "Oh, old people can be action stars." That was what happened.
What did I see? I saw a film called, I think it was called Widows. I quite liked that because there was a bit of a twist in it. He played one of the husband in Widows, and I thought that film was quite good.
Right.
As long as no one's going to say any of the Star Wars films is in, we're all right.
What was the one with Tombstones? I don't know if that was good or shit.
Walk Amongst the Tombstones.
There was.
Yeah.
There was a few, like, after he did Taken, there was a few that were just like Taken. That kind of merged into one.
There was one that was called Unknown, which was actually quite good because it was kind of like a cross
Is that the one with
between...
the big fuck off helicopter comes to the building at the end?
It was like a cross between A Long Kiss Goodnight and Taken.
Yeah.
So he was like a secret agent that had lost his memory, and he had a very specific set of skills, but he couldn't remember them.
Yeah, again, that fits in it. Like him, Tombstone, Taken, it's all the same thing. All the same thing.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Male lead.
Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
He actually did a long kiss goodnight with a male lead.
Essentially, yeah, it is pretty much that. Have you not watched it?
I fucking hate him.
Because I thought about you when I saw it before. I was like, oh yeah, that.
Shit! That's actually a really good one.
Grey is a great Liam Neeson film.
Do you know what I didn't like though? It was very predictable. I was like, everyone's just gonna die.
I
quite enjoyed.
Predictable though.
No spoilers. Have you seen it, Mike?
What? The Grey?
Yeah.
No, I think we went to try and watch it, and I just couldn't be asked. But
watch it
for me, and I was like, I'll watch it at some point when I forget the end. Or what someone told me about it.
And I just revamped that again.
It never really left my mind that he has to fight a bunch of fucking wolves on his own, and he gets munched up. That makes perfect sense.
Kind of, but at the same time, like when I watched that, I was just like, but I could see why it did well. I'm gonna stick with
high spirits as well.
High spirits. She said it twice with her chest. She's like high spirit. What's the first comment say? Liam Neeson, high spirits. Just in normal grammar. There we go. And then all caps.
Apparently, she really, really likes the film High Spirits. Apparently,
yeah, she really likes it. For me, straight away,
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
I don't know
what film. What film do you like?
For me, straight away, as soon as Liam Neeson come out, I was like Schindler's List.
Yeah,
like straight away. I was talking to the manager over at one of the other offices the other day about Schindler's List, and because for me, it's one of those films where you don't really want to say it's a great film because of the subject matter, but it's a fucking great film.
It's a great film, but you don't need to watch it many times.
Yeah,
like American History X.
Everybody should watch it.
To admit that it's a great film.
But everybody needs to watch it. Like it should be watched in film, like American History X. Like knobs.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. She's fucking bang on. As per.
But fairly accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is just cinematographer, storytelling, dialogue, like it's just from start to finish. It's a fucking masterpiece of filmmaking. But like you say, Mike, it's not one that you should watch over and over again. How does Schindler's List come up in your conversation? Because it's a Liam Neeson film.
I think she doesn't remember who's in the film.
Maybe. I mean, Ray Fiennes is also in that film. But
I mean, am I just the one struggling to find out what the issue is?
Vic just wants to have a go because that's just Vic in it. She wants to be a dickhead, which I appreciate, by the way. So right, wow. So moving on. Before we validate that in the slightest little way,
bro, I forgot about that fucking film.
Which one?
Amy's just said scroll. The 1980. God, 80.
Oh shit! That was such an amazing film. That was back in like Labyrinth. Prince of Pride, like really,
but it could be
really cringy. Like. Fantasy, sci-fi fantasy. Krull was fucking great. I always wanted, as a kid, one of them sick like throwing stars where all the blades popped out so you could just sling it at people. That he has in Krull.
As a child,
I watched that. Maybe when I was a kid, like 10, 2012, something like that. I haven't watched it in a fucking long time.
Same. It's not one of those that I've seen it. So as soon as you said about the throwing star, I went, oh yeah. When
Doesn't
it came to
well.
No,
don't say that.
When you think about the Labyrinth for like Princess Bride and stuff, that's a film that I've definitely seen in the last like 3 years or something. Yeah, definitely not Skrull. Okay, cool. What's the next one?
The next one is Saoirse Ronan.
Fuck that is. Who's that? Name films.
You know who Saoirse Ronan is, right? So we'll go with Lady Bird, Little Women, Brooklyn, Lovely Bones, Atonement, Mary Queen of Scots.
Oh yeah.
Hannah, which is clearly the choice.
Hannah. Yeah.
But yeah.
In fact, no. I'm going to go with Lovely Bones. I think it was directed by Peter Jackson.
It was,
but I really like the novel
because it was a book, so obviously it was directed by Peter Jackson.
Obviously. But I thought the actual novel was really good on that. But I thought it was done really well. I thought the actual film was done really, especially with the lighthouse or whatever it was in the end. I thought there was one scene where it was there in the storm and she was running towards it, and I was like, actually, this is beautiful cinematography right here. This is great. I'm going to go with Lovely Bones for that. I think Hannah was great.
Hannah was incredible.
Is that the one where she's like, oh, I missed your heart?
So she's Eric Banner's daughter essentially in it, and she's just some skit. So it was pretty much like, if you've watched Killing Eve, it's what Killing Eve would grow up to be, or like Leon the Professional. It was in that vein of psychopathic, really strong women, but just so good. Brooklyn is actually also a really good film. Yeah.
You've heard good stuff about Lady Bird, but I've not watched it yet.
Yeah, no, I've not watched Lady Bird yet, but it's supposed to be great. It's because she got nominated for, I think it was a best actress for that. But
which automatically puts me off, because when I see Oscar films, I'm like, oh, it's gonna fucking suck. But that one, I think, is an important one. That Moonlight and stuff like that was.
Exactly. It was around about the same year, maybe.
I just not brought it round to it yet.
Yeah, it was maybe the year after Moonlight, or the year of Moonlight. It might have been around about the same time. But you say Oscar films put you off, but with stuff like Moonlight, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing,
Spotlight.
Yeah, there are so many films that I know you absolutely love.
Oh yeah,
which were Oscar-nominated films. Moon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All films
there's a bunch of Oscar films that I really, really like, but when they get hyped up, I purposely don't want to watch it because I don't think it'll live up to everything.
That's the rebel in you. You're trying to conform to society. You just go, fuck you. Don't you tell me what to fucking watch. You can't. You know what I mean? Don't you tell me it's good. Fucking Oscar cunt.
I watched Welcome to Frogtown for the 18th time this weekend.
Exactly. Fuck off. Yeah, too right. Mike, have you watched Little Women?
No.
Will you watch
Is that surprising?
Will you watch it?
No.
Would you watch
that
film?
Why not, Mike? Why?
Not my thing.
I'd rather watch
stuff for enjoyment than just to go, oh, I'm educated at the end of it. Like
you're not in that film. I don't know I don't think I've seen the remake. Is a remake with Emma Watson? Is that what they brought out? Like
Christmas? So it's Emma Watson, Saoirse Ronan.
Talking about the remake, and I was just like, I'm not watching.
No, I was. But just in general,
just go and see it. I feel like we spoke about this before it came out. Like, so that came out in 2019. So at least 2 years ago, maybe 3. We had a full conversation again on a podcast where you was like, we need to just all go and see it. Like, we'll go and see it just so that we can talk about something different to what we normally talk about.
Mike said that.
No, you.
Oh, right. I was like, it sounds like something I'd say that.
Yeah, Mike's never going to say that. If Mike had said that, if that conversation had come from Mike, that's at the point where we need to go. We need to have an intervention.
Yeah,
because there's something very, very wrong.
Mike, if I get us theatre tickets to go see Little Women, will you watch it?
Am I going to be A, in a box, and B, can I get as loaded as possible before it?
Fine, but you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to act irrationally.
What's the fun in that one?
Mate, that's the deal. Yes or no?
If I'm in shit can to watch that and I can't go, this is shit, dead loud.
You're not allowed to say. You're not allowed to say this is shit. This is rank. This is trash. Fuck off. You're a dirty slut. Any of those profanities.
Whoa. I wouldn't call any woman a dirty slut.
That was more to me, and it's more speaking to one of the stewards. Yeah, down there that I probably recognise from nights out. But you're not. We go and see that. We will get a box. We can drink as much as possible, all us three. You're right, but you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to act untoward. Yes or no? Civil. Yes or no?
God, you know.
Alan, I thought you were going, definitely. I wasn't even going to ask you.
You said about behaving rationally and responsibly. I was like, nah, I'm out, bro.
Mate, I feel like out of all three of us, you're probably the only one that would genuinely enjoy this. Like, what the fuck? How are you protesting?
Well, is this because I'm married to a little woman? Because she's 5 foot.
Oh, so neither Mike and I made that connection. The fact that you went straight there means that probably you need to.
She is a very little woman. She is.
He'll get stabbed.
She's going to watch this and then stab you in the
neck. As if she watches this. Behave yourself.
Just in the
comments. She don't watch this. She don't give a fuck.
This is outrageous. But she watches Sarcasm City, but she won't watch her own husband.
She watches Sarcasm City because she likes Top and Flawless as individual personalities. She's not watched it for a while, to be fair, so I'm not sure if she's experienced JV's personality and comedy. I feel like she'd really like him, though, as well. But she won't watch her own husband. Mate, she barely speaks to me when I'm at home. Why the fuck would she go out of her way to watch me on YouTube? This is a break. This is like respite for Deborah. She's cool with it.
I feel like we're digging into something deep here that I don't think Mike and I are qualified for. Let's move on.
I've been with Debbie. I've been with Debbie nearly 20 years. This is okay. She's fine with not being.
Hey Al, what's the next one?
The next one. I feel like the girls are going to like this. Vicky's definitely going to like the next one and the last one because it is Cillian Murphy.
Maybe Inception.
That's hard, film-wise.
It would have to be a Nolan, definitely. It would have to be one of the Batman trilogies.
I know why, but what popped into my head straight away, and I'm surprised that Mike has not just screamed it immediately.
It's not like because he's got a lot of good films. Mm-hmm. He's not denying that. A lot of
very underrated actor.
Yeah. Well, what film do you think I was going to start screaming?
28 Days Later.
No, because it's not one of my films. It's not in my repertoire.
Really?
It's not.
I forgot he was in that.
I genuinely thought you was going to go 28 Days Later, like straight away.
No, I as much as I like zombie films and stuff like that, and I can understand why they did it.
Vicky's gone for 28 Days Later.
And it's
the right choice.
Why it's been made after the Dawn of the Dead remake, and that's why they're all sprinting as quick as they are, and they're all It feels when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is just the English Dawn of the Dead, and I was fine with that. I never really thought about it much after that. But I don't know. First thing that jumped into my head is Scarecrow, though, in the Dark Knight.
Yeah, this is what
great.
Like you said, it'd have to be one of the Nolans.
Batman Begins.
Yeah, one of my slept-on favorite films is definitely Inception. I love that film. I just do.
Again,
I love that film. And
Nolan.
Nolan.
Yeah,
I mean, we got DiCaprio, Jason Gordon-Levitt, we've got Tom Hardy in there. We just got some great people all working together in this film that's put together amazingly. I can't fault Inception. People talk about it and they go, "Oh, it's meant to be so deep and complex." It's not. The story is the story. How people perceive it is that it's not complex at all. Like when you think about it, it's just not. It's just levels. If you think about going down a staircase, it's that. That's it. Yeah. And each staircase has a different time. That's simply it. But like for me, like, but it's
these
not,
are the
it's
same
cinematography.
people. These are probably the same people that got confused about The Matrix and was like, I had to watch it 4 times before I understood it.
I think if there's just a basic action film out there, it's like people have been made into batteries.
You're thinking too much about it.
This is not. Yeah.
Watch the film
or not
enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, concentrate. Don't talk to anyone else while you're watching it, maybe. Yeah. And just concentrate and enjoy it.
Yeah, these guys are obviously trying to do 2 things at once, and that's what's faltering them.
Thinking too much about what's going on.
Yeah. Trying to multitask is doing 2 things badly, as a wise person once said. Inception is for me I think it's a great film. And Ellen Page or Alan, what's her name now? Elliot Page. Elliot Page in there as well. Yeah, to this
Page.
Elliot Page was very good. Can I refer to her in past or him?
I feel like
Ellen Page was in that film, or is it now Elliot Page?
Because at the time she was Elliot.
But that's Page. It. That's the problem. That's it. You can't say she because she's not she anymore. She's now a he.
But that part of their life no longer exists. So
is it like dead naming them though? Like,
no, because then they would. Right, okay. So when there was
if you were advertising, hold on, wait. So if you're advertising Juno now, would you say starring Ellen Page or starring Elliot Page?
No, starring Ellen Page because you can't change the past, unfortunately. So the Wachowskis made Matrix, which we were just talking about. They were the Wachowski brothers at that point, and now they are the Wachowski sisters
because it's what they've been credited
or
for.
Siblings. So yeah, but at the time they were male, and now they're not. So whatever. But yeah, you can't change what they were previously.
So say they did. So they did a Juno. Say they did like a Juno Snyder cut, and they ran to remake it the way they wanted to. What would you? So what would you do then?
Well, then
that's him what he wanted, and then just go whatever.
And then also that film is kind of like Twins. We've already made that film, not Twins. What's it called? Junior. So that's that film. We've already made it. We don't need it again.
Interesting.
Did you think Juno was Junior then? Is that what you said that?
Yeah, I thought it was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ellen Page. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ellen Page, Jason Bateman, and Sigourney Weaver. That's who I thought was in it.
Oh, cool. That'd been a great film.
Next one.
Is there any more? Are there any more?
So, because Irish cinema is very male heavy. I just went with 5 because like Maureen O'Hara and Saoirse Ronan were the only 2 that I could really pick out. There were a shit ton of guys, but it just felt very, very one-sided. So. Yeah, I stuck as closely as I could to it being even. So yeah, that's it. I just did 5 instead of 10 this week.
Okay, that's cool. Well, you said you were still struggling for time. We're talking about Ellen versus Elliot Page. So he's now.
They're not fighting you, dickhead.
Yes, they are. In Juno, they are. So in wouldn't they put Elliot, formerly known as Ellen? It's a standoff. So we're just talking about like Ellen Page, who was in Juno, is now known as Elliot Page because he's now decided that he's not a woman, he's now a man. So we're just discussing whether or not if we were to remake Juno, do a Snyder cut of Juno, would we refer to him as Elliot Page or Ellen Page? But I guess because of accreditation back then, he was known as Ellen Page. So we would refer to him as her.
In all fairness, I think you would just ask Elliot what he wanted on the poster.
And then that would be that. But in fairness, that just seems like the more humane thing to do. Yeah.
So when I was joking about Junior, I wasn't saying I thought that was the same film, but I was saying if they made like a Juno 2, that is how the story would have to progress. Like from a dickhead point of view, obviously.
From an absolute fucking moron point of view, yeah.
Because that is it, isn't it? Because that is how the story would need to progress.
Where Juno automatically gets pregnant again from the same Michael Cera looking motherfucker from up the road.
Mm-hmm. But he's now a guy.
As a sex change halfway through it.
Yeah. Well, no, pre-sex change. Not halfway through. She's already a guy at the start.
I'm on about in the film, not in real life.
Yeah, but Arnie wasn't previously a woman.
About Arnie. Juno.
No, I know, but in Junior, Arnie wasn't a woman.
Juno.
No, but in Junior, Arnie wasn't a woman. They just changed biology and allowed a man to have a baby.
Dickhead, what are you talking about Junior for? Two different films, bro.
Let's move on. So, Alan, done here.
Junior was never Oscar nominated, was it? It just wasn't.
Elliot Page was in it.
Let's move away from this because I ain't liking any of this. I don't know what's happening there, but I ain't liking it. So, Alan, once again, you've collapsed at the last hurdle. So you've literally you've not stumbled. You've literally fallen on your face the last hurdle. And again, it's about bias. So we need to watch this, Alan. Whatever, Alan. Whatever this is, whatever's going on with you at the moment, just get it out of your system. But we need to watch it.
Stop watching Arnold Schwarzenegger films.
Yeah.
Why though? Why? They're so entertaining.
Why? Right, okay, let's just move on from this. What did we have? Mike, you had a really quick segment. Guys, I'm worried about the time because Alan needs to go. You remake. If we could remake films or something.
Oh no, this is what Alan said.
This is me again. I had some input this week.
Alan had more than one thing to input.
Two things.
But I had the best answer. All right.
A whole two things. So wait. So the context is because of Justice League and the Snyder Cut. Wow. So because
we don't know, Linda. We don't know. I've not got control of any of this.
Because of Justice League and the Snyder Cut, we decided to have a look at, or I wanted to have a look at what film you would want to see that you felt like the studio had too much involvement in. So what do you want to see as a director's cut from where the studios had no involvement and the director's just been allowed to make their film? So go on, Mike.
David Fincher, first film was Alien 3. And he got butt fucked so hard by the fucking studio, it was unbelievable. So, a David Fincher Alien 3 without any outside help, that is the dream. Because let's face it, he went from that to 7 in a film. Right, there you go. That's my argument. He went from Alien 3 to 7 in a film.
Yeah,
right.
I actually forgot he directed Alien 3, and I don't hate that film. I don't hate that film.
Yes, because we've seen Alien Resurrections since. That's why, and compared to that, Alien 3 is more like an Alien film than Alien Resurrections.
Was there not another one after Alien Resurrection as well? I feel
Covenant,
like there was a 5th one. Yes,
Alien Covenant
and Prometheus. So
and then Prometheus,
fuck off. There was a whole
and then obviously Alien films. 2 of them.
We don't, Mike. You know the rule. We do not talk about those films. We do not talk about them films.
David Fincher could do a really good job at them if he got the opportunity to make it from scratch. But anyway, I watched a documentary about the making of that film today. It was like an hour long on YouTube. But he went through 3 different directors, 4 different scripts, and then they announced it was being released in 1992 before they even put David Fincher on the actual contract, like signed David Fincher to it. I knew it was fucked, but to have sets and everything built halfway around the world and a date before you've got a director and a script finished.
Shit.
On the biggest sci-fi franchise at the time. It's wild and ruined what would have been one of the greatest trilogies of all time.
So how many people were involved in this?
In what?
Alien 3.
How many directors did they have before Fincher signed on?
The guy what was doing A Long Kiss Goodnight signed up first. Then it was a New Zealand guy, someone else, and then David Fincher. In the space of like 18 months. And then he had like 3 different versions of the script before he took it on, and then he was still writing the script as he was filming. And making changes because the studio was like, we need to save money. It was wild. Go and watch the documentary if you really want. It's like an hour and 3 minutes long. Really worth watching if you just want to see how you can ruin one of the biggest franchises in Hollywood history in the space of 6 months. Like, it's fucking wild what producers can do.
Just because not everyone's got like a deep cut like we have, like just because not everyone knows who Fincher is, I'm just going to run through a couple of his poorer films. So we've got Alien 3, yeah, Panic Room, yeah, World War Z, yeah, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and then it gets infinitely better. So then we go Social Network, Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, Zodiac, Gone Girl, Seven, Fight Club. Like, it's just like hit after hit after incredible story after it's just insane how talented that man is for the studio to get in his way and Alien 3 come out. Because there are glimpses in it. Like I say, I actually like that film. I don't hate it. It's kind of a guilty pleasure.
Brilliant. Like it looks visually very, very satisfying as well. Because it's different enough from the first two, but also has that claustrophobic feel.
Yeah.
Of it still like it's trying to do different things from the first two, which is really good.
Yeah.
But
and it's kind of a new type of alien, and it feels more threatening and kind of brutal in a way. Like it felt like a really nice mix between Alien and Aliens.
Is apparently a really, really, really brutal, horrifyingly gory autopsy of the child. So the kid. And he got and he said that it was that bad that he didn't make it off the first cut because it was just they spent so much time and because they just went, he was basically, I want to make people feel uncomfortable as possible. And how can you do that after the first two Alien films? Oh, I get it. Let's butcher a child in front of people. It's wild. And the fact that that didn't make it in there, like when today it definitely would. Without even a bat of an eyelid. After Saw, after that type of horror film come prevalent, that would be front and center in that type of film.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be the ultimate to get a director's cut is Alien 3, David Fincher getting to do whatever he wanted.
I love that. I really, really, really like that. Because, like I say, just the talent of that man is fucking insane. Really, just insane.
Before he filmed that, all he basically done was a bunch of Madonna videos, Billy Idol, like just music videos, and that was his big break. And then they fucked him so hard.
Yeah.
But I think they knew they fucked him so hard. That's why he ended up getting the opportunity to make Seven and Fight Club and whatever else he wanted to do.
Yeah.
It was off the back of how bad they know they screwed him at that point, I feel.
Yeah, just such a big fan. So, Nick, what was your thinking?
My my one kind of went a little bit. I don't know if it's off topic or not, but this is more just personal. I really wanted episodes 7 to 9 to be done again by J.J. Abrams. only to see what would have happened.
So really, you want 8 and 9 done again because he did 7.
No, just all of them, because he was trying to set up another movie that he knew wasn't his. I want to see all of them done again. I just want to say, I'm just curious because 7 was good. It effectively opened doors to things that were potentially exciting, and I was
That's obviously because you said you hadn't seen one, so now you have.
Yeah. So, like episode 7.
You need to laugh at that person's opinion about the Snyder being worse than Justice League.
But now at least we know we've got a rounded opinion.
I hadn't seen anyone say anything like that, and now I have.
But now you have. See, so now you can feel fulfilled.
Thank you. I do.
Like a foolish clover, that. One of them. It's lucky, isn't it?
And it's St. Paddy's week.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it was this week.
It's only for my curiosity more than anything else. It's just when directors, producers, fucking the company get involved and they fuck everything up. It like this when I saw the Force Awakens, I remember leaving the cinema almost excited for Star Wars again. Like that generally was. I was intrigued by this whole franchise once again. It wasn't just the lore or the games or the comics or the universe, or fan fiction that intrigued me into this again. I was seeing things that I'd seen from the first trilogy that I was like callbacks to the first trilogy that I loved. Things that steered away from the stuff that they made from the prequels that I loved. I was looking at actors getting on screen that generally blended well together instead of these generic fucking scripts that they had in 1, 2, and 3. And actually, generally, these two guys interacting in a manner that was great. I'm seeing them talking about legends the way we would talk about them if we was in this universe. I was excited for Star Wars again, and it ruined it for me. The rest of the episodes ruined it for me. I was like, where did that go? It started off so well. I was genuinely excited. And for me, I feel like it's the biggest, do you know when people go, oh, that's a shame? It feels like that, but just exponential. For me, it's just like, what was it supposed to be? If you gave us this on the first one, where did you want to go with this? Instead of cramming everything and undoing things other people have done in the third film and shoving it in, giving us a fucking clusterfuck of an end to a fucking trilogy. Where were you going with this, man? Like, what was your story? And I'm generally intrigued to hear it, because if it was anything like how the first one was set up to be, then I think that we could have potentially been in for a good ride. I think we could have been given what we wanted to see, however it was meant to go. So that's my pick.
Nice. Mine was that.
Oh, the universe has decided that.
Hey, we don't need to
his face. Do you reckon this is Debbie doing him in from his first comment?
I don't know what happened then. You all went black on the screen. I don't know where you went. So I would say, yeah. So you both know how I feel about Fantastic Four.
You feel like hate it. You think it's trash.
Yeah. Josh Trank, yeah. I want that version of that film because
I was thinking that before. Like, that's
the studio got so involved, which is why I fucking hate Fox and why I'm glad Disney bought them, but also not because they obviously earned money from it. But they got that heavily involved. They made the man that created the first part of that film or had that concept to literally stop making films. And it knocks me actually sick that they fucking ruined a career by getting involved. Yeah. It's absolutely disgusting. Just fucking, just vile.
Do you not think he's going to come back massive in a year or two?
Under a pseudonym, maybe.
No. I just think he'll stay clear from major, basically the big two. You'll probably stick around places like Miramax, pumping out like indie classic after indie classic.
Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd really like because what was this? Chronicle is what he made. That's what got him his break. That was his first film. Then he got the contract for Fantastic Four. What I'd really like to see him do is go to Blumhouse.
Yeah,
and write films for them.
Blumhouse.
Right, hold on. Was Chronicle the POV superpower thing?
Yes.
That was fucking awesome. I forgot about that film. What happened to that film? That film was fucking sick.
Nothing happened to that film. He made it for absolutely nothing, off his own back, off his own story, directed it himself, and it blew up. And then he got a big Hollywood big budget film, started trying to make the version that he wanted, and the studio got involved and clearly just fucked him over. Yeah.
Basically blacklisted him. But he'll come back. He's made enough money.
Ruin the man's career. Literally ruin the man's career. So that's I was thinking about that film today, and that's what made me think it's something, especially when we talk about the Snyder Cut, it's something we need to talk about tonight.
Chronicle was fucking sick.
Yes, there you go.
That was a sick film.
Sometimes I do know things.
I forgot about it though. That's the thing. I'm pissed off that I forgot about a film that was so great.
Well,
it makes me think about like what other great films have I just burst into the ether? You know, what have I forgotten about? It starts with Chronicle. What, I woke up tomorrow and don't know who Indiana fucking Jones is? Is there no short round anymore? How the fuck am I going to live? I mean, fuck it. You know? Who's going to tell me to hold on to my potatoes if there's no short round? No one. No one is. Are you going to do it, Alan?
No one. No.
Are you going to do it?
Nope.
Exactly.
Nope.
Fuck.
No.
I need to start writing. I need to start fucking... Alan, you frozen again. Look,
I think you'll find you're the one that's frozen.
Nope.
Once again, I feel like
you, Alan.
Yeah, definitely you, pal.
Not now, but
you were.
Yeah, I know, because we all froze at the same time. It's just that Mike was off camera.
Not just you.
Froze. I could see everything. So
I could see Mike working.
Debbie's probably
Mike was fine. I was fine.
The internet and turning it off.
Time's up, lads.
Mike.
Yes.
Last week, Alan, I presume we finished with this segment.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That was great, mate. I didn't have a theme tune for that one either, but you didn't ask me to do one. So
I didn't ask you to do a theme tune.
It's a bit awkward if I just start singing over it. Yeah, it'd be a bit awkward if I sang over it. It's a bit weird that you didn't ask, but that's fine. A bit weird if you didn't ask.
It's a bit weird if you started singing.
I get it. You know, I understand, but you know, you didn't ask. You know that's my thing. You didn't ask me to do it.
You know what has got a theme tune? Pick of the week.
No, wrong. You don't announce that. You prick.
That has got a theme tune. I'm just saying that it's got a theme tune.
No, you're not. You wanted me to start going into that. This is just like your fucking Falcon rant earlier. You're just getting called out on the shit that you're trying to do today. We're seeing past the mask, Alan. We're seeing past the mask. Right. Right. So the other way, Mike. Point the other way.
No, you're the one who's being pissed.
No, you have to point at me. I'm over here. You're pointing at you.
No, point that way. No, that way.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm actually trying to help you here. Anyways, mate, if I do that, Mike, do it again. There you go. No, you still got it wrong.
Wrong way.
Try it now, Mike.
Down. Yes.
Go on. Do it now, Mike. Right, it's like a game show, this, isn't it? Anyways, right. We can have a lot of fun today. Right, anyway. Mike, last week you had a challenge. I am going to do pick of the week, Al. So save that little intro. Set me up again later. But you had a good challenge that we set you. We needed to find a dead pop star or an artist that has now become a well-known comedian. So who have you got this week, Mike?
I completely forgot, but I can make one up. This is how hard I put effort into the last one.
Wait, because I just want you to make one up and then us just to move swiftly on.
Okay.
Subject.
So pop star who's a famous, but okay. So who died and then come famous? See, the first one that jumped to my mind would really offend my wife, so I'm not gonna say it.
Who's
Just
that?
not gonna do it. Okay. So River Phoenix died.
Oh no.
Moved to the state. It moved to England and then started acting in Coronation Street and then released a pop record.
Nick Tilsley. What? What was his name? What was his name? What actually scary? What is actually fucking frightening is that I know exactly who you mean.
He looked like him. He had the fucking fanny parting and everything.
First time I've ever seen Fitz refer to you as his name before.
Michael.
This is spelled it the right way.
Yeah, M&G's right. You know what I mean? It's done.
But I would argue it was very funny.
Alan, what are you doing?
No, I need to find out. I need to find out the original Nick Tilsley's real name. Right. Yeah, Adam Rickett. Right. Yeah. She's literally just opened the door and Adam Rickett.
She used to have a poster.
No, you didn't. Stop it. She used to have a poster in a locker at school. Right. That's the Peter on Facebook. Me. Right.
So there you go. There's my one for this week.
So there we go. So River Phoenix moves to England and turned into Adam Rickett.
I mean, it's uncanny.
Look at him.
I mean, look at this. I mean, it's.
And I bet they're not that far apart years-wise of when he passed and then he appeared.
They can't. There's not a lot in that, you know, mate. Do you know what? I can't.
Deny that I'm a genius.
Fucking hell.
I don't think he'll be on next week.
I was going to say, she's definitely in the kitchen sharpening knives, like literally right now. Go fuck, mate. Oh, you
all right.
Fucked.
Really quickly. Pick of the week. 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 Pick of the week.
My pick of the week. It's gonna go Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
That was funny, Al.
Oh, I knew exactly. You know, where you just know exactly where someone's going to go with something.
But seriously, I'm gonna stick with Stand By Me.
I'm actually going to stick with Indiana Jones as well because I fucking love Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Like, I love it.
Leave her alone.
Oh, Nick, please pick a River Phoenix film.
I've got a real one.
Just wait a second. She seems far more upset about that one than the Chevy Chase is Jim Morrison. Like,
Oh, can't cope. Fucking hell.
See, look,
what's your
fans. How can we lose 3 of number 1 fans? It doesn't make any sense.
I think she meant you third. Third number 1 fan.
Vix, I'm really trying to help you. I'm trying to help.
What's your pick of the week, man?
Nick, what's your pick of the week?
Oh fuck me, I don't even know. I had one. I can't fucking remember. My pick. Oh fuck. Oh, I had a really good one.
How is it not a River Phoenix film?
I mentioned it earlier. Sin City. My pick of the week, Sin City.
Oh, fuck off. There's a Phoenix one in that. It was dead by then. But it was in Coronation Street then.
Right, so this has been Red Line Picture. This has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much today. I feel like we've lost these guys today, and I feel like Vicky's about to guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Shouts to everyone. Shouts to Talk About It Network. Shouts to Mortality. Yeah.
Tomorrow, 3 o'clock at Sarcasm City YouTube. I'm doing the first politics live. What's politicking you off? I'm not going to drink for that one. I don't think so. But go watch it if you're going to be about.
Is that actually start tomorrow? Politicking you off?
3 o'clock. Yeah.
Sick.
Make sure you watch Mike talking about some shit on politics. Mate, shouts to you, man. Good luck. I will definitely be tuning in for that, right? So make sure you do the Red Line. Make sure you follow Mortality as well. Make sure you follow Rick Charles Media, Premier Battles, Talk About It Network, Sarcasm City, Pod of Mercy, and most importantly, Red Line Picture. Make sure you follow us on all major platforms. Make sure you follow the talent, Mike, myself, on all major platforms as well. Make sure you tune in next week for Red Line Live, where we'll be talking the next episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier and more geek as well. So thank you very much for tuning in. Peace out.